everyone's having a fantastic time here. So, let's go ahead and continue on. One man, one goal, one vision. On to Chapter 3 here. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a minute, so let's go ahead and get a little bit of a refresher here. So at this point, we're all the way at, well, we're basically doing the middle section here. So right now we have a couple fights up until we get to the Diebold fight. So basically where we're at in the whole run strategy-wise is we need to be able to pick up endgame equipment about halfway through the game, or halfway through the story here. So we're a couple fights away from that. Basically what we have right now is we go over here and we start getting into that fight with the Diebold there. I'm trying to remember exactly whether I believe it was you fight Diebold now, then you go back, and then you fight Gildas. Because right now the story-wise we're just looking for Gildas pretty much. Also, let me go ahead and turn down the volume a little bit. It's a tad loud. There we go. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Hoping to get a little bit of feedback as soon as some folks get here. Anywho, so yeah, we already have the White Knight unlocked now. To explain what we're doing with the classes here. So the Warrior is the one I'm probably going to be doing a good chunk of the story with. They've got a very good assortment of skills for a lot of different things. The White Knight is going to be what I'm going to be using basically as kind of the powerhouse. They're the one... no, don't change it yet. So I've only got 5 changes into that class for now. This will change down the line, as well as a few of the other classes here will become unlocked as soon as I get to the Palace of the Dead. Now, the way that I'm trying to set this up here, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge to get into the Palace of the Dead. See, the very first story fight that you go into scales pretty low compared to a lot of the other ones. So basically, it's a situation where trying to get through that first fight almost requires a ranged thing to go through on a run like this. But I don't really have, and there's really no class with enough ranged power to go around one-shotting everything, with exception to the Buccaneer. So the Buccaneer can get a Gunblade can shoot stuff. I should probably add a little caveat here. The main issue is Draconics. That's hands down the strongest thing so far versus versus a very optimized solo build. So a couple of things here. May have noticed earlier that the Knight got some levels. It turns out that's actually a really good thing. When I was routing or rerouting a few things recently, I noticed that I couldn't actually pick up Phalanx on Denim, simply because I didn't have the levels to do it, and the Knight is not one of the classes that would be considered self-sustaining. So that's another thing. Kind of self-sustaining versus one-time use classes. I should probably go over that as well. So the Warrior, Swordmaster, White Knight, Dragoon, those are good examples of classes that can, they can take care of themselves pretty well. They've got good recovery options, they've got good defensive options, and whenever it comes to more extreme situations, they should be able to just retreat, heal up, fix any debuffs. They've got options for it. So Warriors, Dragoons, and White Knights have access to items. Dragoons also have access to elemental stuff, as does the White Knight. The Swordmaster has a HP scaling heal. So Art of War is actually going to become very useful as time goes on. Early on, it's not exactly fantastic. About the time you get to around level 20 or so with him, you're still only healing about 60, but once you get up to about 30 plus, he starts doing above 100. It's not perfect, it's not as good as a Healing Seed or something like that. It does, speed-wise, they're comparable, I suppose. But it's just the fact that he's got other options as well as the skills he comes with. So I should point out that the premier resistance class, the premier just cancel all damage class, is still the Swordmaster right now. Basically, Steel Stance can reduce almost all caster damage down to 1 with a full resistance build. Their evasion still remains high enough to be able to take out a lot of things. Just kind of with that. It's just their recovery is a little bit slow, but it's still there. Now, later on, though, we're going to be making a lot of use of the White Knight, and specifically, I was mentioning Phalanx up here, because while I won't be using the Knight, one of their main abilities is one that a lot of others can use to kind of cheese the end game. Because part of the problem with the end game is just the fact that Draconics are everywhere. You need to stay like 3 tiles away from those guys at all times. They will just spam debuffs all the rest of the time. It's something you can deal with. But when they're coming in with like 1 to 200 damage, just barely avoidable kind of stuff, that is not ideal. Like, even a full evasion swordmaster there can get their evasion up to about like 60% versus Draconics, but still, one of those will hit and it will be debilitating. So more or less, we're going to try to set up situations where we just never get hit by them entirely. Aside from that, as far as self-sustaining stuff goes, the Berserker, it would be very ideal. Like, the Berserker I will keep on hand. It'll be just kind of in the back pocket as a plan at some point, because their whole strengthening ability is decent. The problem is they'll boost themselves for a turn. That boost can be dispelled, especially when they're alone. They're probably the worst solo class of the two-hander units. So yeah, their strength boost can be dispelled, and on top of that, their defense is not great. I believe they've got the single highest attack, but oh boy, it's not great with them. Not great at all. But yeah, as far as single hit damage, they're pretty well up there. If we need them for some reason, they're there. I don't foresee any kind of good reason to go ahead and use the Berserker, but, you know, let's keep that in the back pocket. And that should be everything for now. So yeah, the main roadblocks to get through to actually get to the end game is Palace of the Dead 1, Palace of the Dead 3, and then Farampa once you get into the northern first fork, where you have that fight that's like a big U-shaped map, which I figured out a way to do it, but oh my goodness, is it cheesy. It is some extreme levels of cheese to pull that off. So yeah, and then past that to actually get the Dragon Slayer and things like that, it's a bit of a thing. So again, bit of a refresher. As far as like the best weapons that we're going to get for this run, that's going to be right here. As far as unlocking the Buccaneer, if we go for that, that's going to be Chapter 4 around here. And then if we go for, well, we're going to be going for Palace of the Dead. We have to anyway, but I'd like to get it done. Actually, I think we're not going to do it for a little bit. See, what I'd like to do is do 1 to 3. Oh, but that brings up another problem that we're going to be coming in scaled later. Well, I mean, if we have the Dragon Slayer, it's workable. I might skip the Buccaneer entirely. Basically, the Buck has a couple of unique attributes that nobody else does. The book that we're going to need from up here, because we're just going to Palace of the Dead later, we're going to get Transcription. So Transcription will allow for making class marks for a lot of classes that you wouldn't normally be able to actually even use. Hello there, Mr. Vale. Nice to see you. Hope you're having a fantastic morning. Hopefully yesterday wasn't too stressful. Did you get all your writing done? Just to kind of finish my train of thought here, yeah, so once we get to that point, we'll be able to get White Knight marks. I believe we can get Paladin marks, though don't quote me on that one. And we'll be able to get Buccaneer marks. So that will oh yeah, and Lord marks. So those 3. I wasn't initially planning to use the Lord because of their kind of average stats across the board, but when I was routing out Palace of the Dead and a few other places, it turned out to be a bit more convenient to just use Lord for more stuff. So we'll see what we end up doing with that. Anyway, for the time being, though, we need level 28, and we need that now, so let's go ahead and make that happen. Hello there, Tynemouth. Let's do a rando fight. Hopefully this doesn't backfire horribly. Realistically speaking, yeah, we don't have the best situation for this level at all. This is just kind of going to be a little bit of a attempt. We'll see how this goes. Because we should get completely crushed unless there's a no healing team here. Alright, what do we got here? We got caster, 2 lizards, another caster. I'm not seeing any clerics yet, so if they've got no recovery... Yeah, this is a no recovery spawn, so we can figure this out. Alright, let's go over here. No paralytic wave available, but we can go ahead and get a little bit of strength in action going on. Probably should be throwing out a resilience, so that's the crystallized flame. which is very, very handy, but for the time being, we don't need it. I should have put Lament of the Dead on here if I've got it. I think I was saving for Lament of the Dead. Oof. Yeah, the casters at this point become very, very strong. Alright, so we might have to do a walk, drain, and then attack. Because we're out of range of the caster right now. Yeah, just slightly in range, but if we go here... Can we just paralyze you? Wow. Nope. Alright, what kind of damage are we actually looking at here? 122? Oof. They're fully scaled up. Why are they fully scaled up? That actually shouldn't happen. Interestingly enough. Why is... Okay, that's actually really bizarre. This never... Why is he 30? Huh. Alright, yeah, this is a complete no-go. Alright, we're just gonna go ahead and go back to the story mode. Hello there, Mr. Cow. It's going okay, got up at 1 AM to work, finished about 3 hours worth of work before I had to stop, about 10.5k edited and 2.5k written. Well, dang. I mean, I would figure that the editing takes a hell of a lot longer than the actual writing. I was just thinking yesterday with the 4k words edited. Alright, we're actually going to go down here. Let's go ahead and get Chrysero done. Wait, what? Oh, no, it's Bode. It's Bode. Alright, whatever. Let's do this. Why is he 30 is a quest... Wait, we got some new emotes? Nice. Why is he 30 is a quest we all ask ourselves in the mirror a year after turning 29. I mean, I generally ask myself what's wrong with you, but that works. Alright. So, we're gonna give this a try first just to see what we need to adjust. Right off the bat, I'm thinking we're probably gonna need to use Dragoon for this. So we're probably gonna have to raise up the Dragoon, use Dragonfly to get up those ramparts. But, actually, wait a minute. We might not need to. Actually, we might be able to curb stomp this, because, yeah, we've got a good level advantage going on here. Saria, we're going to go ahead and allow it to die. She's not necessary for this run. She's not necessary to continue anything, and I don't want Rune Fencers getting any additional levels that they don't need. So, unfortunately, rip Saria. They just use an upside-down Triforce? Yeah, exactly. Exactly, it's the evil version. So yeah, I guess we don't need to get fancy with this one, but we are going to go ahead and throw some dodge on there. Most of the other stuff has diminishing returns, but I want to dodge, I want to strengthen. Just stuff them to kind of shake off with Dispel while I get close, and then should be able to just one-shot Oz and call it good. But until then, we should let Saria get taken out here. There we go. Interestingly enough, her original version just comes in completely naked, which the mod basically takes out that whole kind of dire implication of this whole situation, in which they basically just disarmed her instead of going full, you know exactly what I'm talking about there. Anyway, yeah, I really don't mind that reference being removed at all. But anywho, so she's gonna go ahead and throw some damage out there. Let's see, they. Oh well. Alright. Yeah, but speaking of old, it's weird how much time's been flying by though. It's like hell. Like I thought I was getting old. Like, man, I'm almost getting to 30 myself. How the hell did this happen? And yeah, then my brother's coming over, and I was thinking like, hey, my brother's in his 20s. You know, my brain is still kind of back at that point. And yeah, sure enough. It's like they're coming over, they're almost 40, like, Well, okay, not almost, wait a minute. They're halfway to 40, there we go. Like, what happened? Why is everybody just like... Why is life so short all of a sudden? Why is it that you have kids and suddenly, stuff doesn't stop going anywhere? Alright. So, here we go, he's gonna go ahead and go do his whole thing here. Yeah, honestly, I think the TK is just gonna be... It's just going to be the replacement for the Berserker for all intents and purposes. It's just... It accomplishes the same goal while having access to armor, and it just essentially accomplishes it in an easier way. Because we don't have to risk anything. He can just debuff a bunch of units instead of buffing himself, which tends to kind of decentralize that whole situation. So, by the way, if you guys were looking for looking for the end of that X-Div base raid, we should be doing that tomorrow if I'm not missing anything. And yeah, later today in the post-noon era, we'll be doing more mana, more LOM finally. It is Legend of Mana I'm thinking of, right? Your father won, man. He lives. Well, not for long. He doesn't. All right. So the ideal for this part of the game, as far as routing goes, would have been to go and train up the Dragoon, get him to an acceptable level, do something fancy here, and yeah. But ultimately decided against it, simply because I can go ahead and train the Dragoon once we get once we actually do the Diebold fight. So we're going to be doing the one big grind of the game. Well, actually, one of two big grinds of the game, and it's not actually going to be that grindy. It should be pretty interesting. In which what we're basically going to do is we're going to take a bunch of classes that I plan to use for certain things. So, for example, I want to get Augment Holy going, so we'll go ahead and get the White Knight going for that. It's the easiest early way to handle that situation. For Augment Air, we can use the Dragoon, as well as the fact that he can skip one tile, so I'd like to have him at least at 20. So I'd like, I'm basically going to be switching to the White Knight as primary after this. So White Knight's the main, Warrior is kind of the backup for him, Dragoon is there for skipping ahead one tile, and then the Lord will take over for that particular thing once we get up to, Palace of the Dead and unlock Lord. So basically, yeah, you can just go to POTD, just get the marks from there. Unless I'm missing something, in which case we'll have to go back in time and unlock him properly, but as far as I'm aware, we should just be able to go to POTD, pick up the marks from there, and be good to go. Also, these guys don't even realize how screwed they are right now. Oh, no. Right. He's not max rank yet. Okay. Alright, which one to use the most threatening, then? Alright, actually, better idea. I'm just going to go Drain Heart here. That would be one way to do it. There we go. Actually, no, we're just going to throw out a Poison Mist here to weaken these guys. And then I'm just going to go ahead and one-shot Oz, and then we should be done here. So these guys are all going to get hit by both effects. I should be able to take one more round. Oz should hopefully try to get close. And then once he does, we can just go ahead and finish him off. Okay, block. Kind of disappointing that parry isn't proccing more. So yesterday was actually 4.5k written. I find editing goes a lot faster, especially if it's just editing a completed manuscript. It's just that I do several editing passes, so overall I'll spend many more hours editing than I do writing. Gotcha. Well, I mean, sometimes when you get going with writing, you just kind of go in an absolute wordy fury. But then once you're going back in editing, you're always kind of second-guessing yourself. I'd figure. You know, I was always second-guess the hell out of myself. No, get that Drain Heart crap out of here. Alright. Yeah, I already have the mindset in my head of one of my last solo testing runs. So basically I'm just always thinking Grand Cross is available. It's like, oh, what are you going to do here? Well, I mean, just Grand Cross half the team away. Why not? If this doesn't work out in the first pass here, what I'm thinking is probably throw out a lot more Poison Mists here. Might be one way to go about it. Because obviously they're very, very weak to it. Alright, are you going to get close enough? Hell yeah, you are. Okay, that should be a win right there. Do I get my turn yet? Don't crit. Perfect parry. Alright, come on, give me my turn. Can I have my turn yet? Sir, you are a dick. You did not need to go all the way around to do that. Alright, hopefully that first guy moves. No. It's not the guy. Alright. Doesn't matter. Still a win. There we go. Or just slightly short, actually. Well, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Need to do a couple of adjustments. I needed to hit him with a poison last round, that's what it was. So, we're going to go ahead and redo this one. I'm going to go ahead and hit him with a poison. That's going to go ahead and possibly give him a weaken. Come on, parry. This guy and his 25%, I swear. That was not great. I was expecting that to be a little bit smoother, but oh well. So again, I should mention the way that we got stomped at, or just basically dead stopped at Farampa there. That is exactly why we're keeping backup classes ready to go. So we're gonna make a couple quick adjustments before we go into this fight. Yeah, we can't do Farampa right now. We still need to train up parry, and we need to train up augments. To train up parry, I need a Boulder Helm. Basically, just need to be all ready to go with that. Now, right now we have a Bronze Helm. That'll help out defensively, but it doesn't really make sense to go for it currently. So we can go for gloves here if we want to get a little bit of extra power. That's probably going to be the best way to do this. Might actually want to go for nomads. They're only a little bit lower here. That extra dex is going to boost accuracy a decent chunk. On top of that, that 20 luck could give us a few extra opportunities. Unfortunately, that is 2 extra weight that I just don't want to be taking on a build this heavy. So, we've got all this stuff. We've got Augment Air. As far as Lament of the Dead, we need 460 for that, so it's going to be a trick for later, basically. We can get Fearful Impact, but that's not going to really affect anything here. And we can get the first rank of Rampart Aura. We're eventually going to want maxed out Rampart Aura and Phalanx on top of Squash. The idea behind all of those is that you'd be able to just basically edit any map however you feel like it. So, very handy to have those kinds of options available. Drain Mind for the hell of it. Gravity Flux. That actually could be useful here. Gravity Flux might be enough to turn this. So let's go ahead and give this another go. Probably start off with a Spellcraft instead of a Dodge, since Dodge kind of let us down last time. Braxton, please don't bark. I don't know why you're barking randomly over there. So, already. And he hits his own guys, and that's hilarious. I just love that that still affects him like it should. Like, as far as I'm aware, that didn't actually take any extra effort. It just already did that. At some point, he was mentioning giving Sari a bash at this point so that she kicks that guy off the ledge. But, we'll see. So he just comes in with a mail. I guess the joke wouldn't work in scaled up fights, but oh well. That's mostly because he's likely to spawn in with Dynamo Plate, and Dynamo ends up giving innate Steadfast, so he can't really move anywhere. Sally Short, that's where you hope she doesn't say. I mean, honestly, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, a lot of that stuff is kind of oh wait, not Spell Strike. Where is Spellcraft? There we go. We only have one use of this, but that's fine. Probably don't even need it, but you know, better safe than sorry. Now, yeah, a lot of that stuff is kind of a myth. Actually, according to a bunch of the refused studies done a while ago, it was like, yeah, just somewhere in the middle. It's like people are people. It's not like everybody just functions like a machine. Anywho, we're gonna go ahead and leave that at that relatively PG location. They're gonna go ahead and do that. Now, actually, that right there might have been enough to push this into a win already. Simply because Oz has that 5 extra health, or 5 less health that he didn't have last time. So, yeah, bit of a problem there. Now, unfortunately, all of the, none of the dodges seem to be rolling. That's fine, you know. Those ones don't do very much, but it's the later ones that are going to be kind of a problem. For now, we can enjoy the benefit of mostly ignoring casters. They're only going to do about equivalent damage to archers. So it kind of puts a little bit of a timer on the Terra Knight. That's why I say he's not viable in the later game. But for short fights, they're pretty strong because they can usually get up close, take a few hits, use that TP to get Lament of the Dead. essentially maybe last a couple rounds, get a finisher on top of a terror, and yeah, you can wind up with some pretty nice stuff. So we're going to go ahead and throw a leaf out there, and then next round we're going to start throwing out poison mist everywhere. That should weaken them down a good chunk. Then once Dude Guy gets close, we'll be down to business. I can probably get rid of Shadow Break here, though I was expecting there to be a Knight on this level. I'm not sure why. And if we can keep her running a little bit longer, then, you know, she's providing a pretty good distraction right now. Scratch that. She is very dead. Doop-de-doop-de-doo. She are rip. But such things happen in this weird world. So ideally what I'd like to do is get poison on the archers. Now, if I get to... Well, just... Oh, no. You terrible, terrible archer. This is why having Dynamo plate later is a pretty big benefit, because you just immediately have Steadfast on you at all times. It's one of those things that's generally not worth a skill slot, so it doesn't tend to work... it doesn't tend to get used in that way as often. Okay, we got to 126 there, 129 there. This should draw them to the left a little bit, which hopefully should cause them to get a little bit stuck. See if that works out that way. One thing that might actually work is just hiding down here. Actually, one thing I wish they would have done in the remake is... Let me just go ahead and show right here. Like, they'll keep throwing out a cleanse, but they don't have as good AoE heals at this point. But one thing I wish they would have done for the remake is actually add a couple tiles on top of these two, so that you actually can't get hit by arrows in this little nook. It always feels like in a location where you shouldn't get hit by arrows, but they'll gladly hit you all the same, simply because they have just enough of an arc. And you got one or two tiles there would prevent that from happening. It's just there's a lot of little bits about the maps in this game that I wish they would have made something slightly different, but it is what it is. Now, with this going how it is, I should be able to throw out another poison mist up there in that corner, in that little nook, which should keep their healing distracted, which should keep all those guys going slowly. Should leave a few people trying to cover debuffs. Should hopefully have a finisher ready to go as soon as Oz arrives. Alright, good block. Yeah, I don't want to waste that finisher on anybody else. There we go, throw that out there. Poisoned and weakened, as you do. And for any that didn't know, by the way, this is the game has not changed to allow you to use this this particular sprite or anything. This is just a cheat code that I have in there that allows him to look different. It doesn't change anything else. It is purely cosmetic. So there we go. They're all worried about that. Now we should only have the one guy trying to hit us here. Please parry this. Please parry. Please parry. Please parry. Oh, come on. Sir, you are a dick with that claw. Claw warriors are definitely stronger in the mod. That is for dang sure. Because that guy is about the equivalent of an optimized one from the base game if he were using the Talons. All right. So what I need here is, yeah, I need Oz to get close to get that finisher off. It doesn't seem like it's going to happen simply because of that one. All right, we got that block off. Literally just have one attack left. What we can do here is run back, try a Drain Heart, see if we can maybe get out of range. Wow, that's less than ideal. Alright, let's see if we can survive until the next round on, like, 70 health. Okay, 80, I'm sorry, I misspoke. Yeah, oof. Have to roll every single block, basically. Alright, I was legitimately expecting that 25% to hit, because that guy doesn't care. He's already hit plenty of 25s with no trouble. Alright. 12% miss? Worth a hope. That's fine, though. This method can work, as it distracts them long enough to get a finisher off. Doing the other stuff seems to make sure that Oz gets hit at least once. That's basically all we need. We need Oz to take one hit, and then we're good. So there we are. Now, yeah, we're gonna leave the leathers on there this time, though. Simply because, yeah, that it did a lot for dodging those arrows before. Actually, I think what I'm gonna do, I'm probably gonna put mail on him. It'll lower his stats a little bit, but it will give him 20 extra health. There we go. Let's do this thing. And yeah, I'm not sure the cow minute got there in time. Alright, what do we want to get? Yeah, Poison Ward. Definitely want Poison Ward over Shadow Break. So that gives us 20 extra health to work with, plus immunity to poison, so we should be solid as far as that goes. There we are. You're going to do that whole thing, hit your own dudes as you do. It's at this point that you might find it hilarious to hear that Chapter 3 is the easiest part of the game. Or the easiest part of this run, anyway. At least once we get going. So, the main difference is because you can get augments built up early. So it's before enemies scale up and everything, so you can get some interesting shenanigans going. But yeah, after we get off of the Terror Knight, it's gonna be easier. So we're just gonna leave the Terror Knight for kind of like assassination type situations where they need to go and they need to go like do the whole Lament of the Dead thing and then take somebody out in one hit. We're gonna be doing all that, but in general we're gonna be making a bit less use of it over the course of the run. Like I said, once we get the opportunity to start switching over to the White Knight, that'll be a lot better. Simply because, like, the Terror Knight gets their extra damage from weakening everybody around them, and they can still use the Strengthen. It takes them 2 to 3 turns to set up a good maximum damage hit. With the White Knight, they can basically already start getting their potential max damage from their first round if everything goes well. Plus, they get an augment on top of it, or they get an instill on top of it. So Consecrate Edge is specifically their main ability there. So that gives you Strengthen, True Strike, and Instill Light. Basically, that gives you 25%, or rather, about 30% extra damage on every swing, on top of the 20% from Strengthen. So you basically get 2 hits per attack, and on top of that, you're extra accurate on top of it as well. It's about 20% extra accuracy. So it's very, very, very strong. Again, it's funny that, technically speaking, as far as the background numbers, it should be about 10% extra strength, and it should be about, I believe it is locked at 25% actual damage that you're getting off of it, but once everything's all said and done, it certainly feels like 20%. So, next thing here, we need that leaf. So we got Strengthen, we got a leaf. They shouldn't be able to get into range to dispel away the Strengthen. They should all focus on Saria, who will hopefully last 1 extra round here. If they dodge Oz, then we're in a little bit of goodness here. Actually, if she gets sniped off by an archer, that might be the best case scenario. Now, bear in mind, by this point, if you have archers or something like that, or other units that you would have moved up, they would be attacking them instead of her. But because this guy is so slow, there's no way he can actually get to her before anything happens. Not that I don't want to anyway, because again, she has to be gone before the fight's done. It sucks, but it is what it is. Right. If you can miss that, be great. Thank you. Yeah, other TKs become a little bit of a problem for tank builds once you start seeing more HP scaling abilities. So you got to keep that in mind if using tanks. Alright. Stuff that, again, only comes up in solo runs. So if I can get my turn here, what I want to do is go over here, throw out a bit of that poison action. So first off, he got hit, didn't he? No. Alright, so we can do all this type of stuff, that'll weaken them down, but if we can land this on him, then we're in a bit better business. I think distracting them is the more important thing for now. So I'm going to go ahead and make that happen. So there we go. They are thoroughly well and ruined right now. And they shouldn't bother trying to get close, because they're all busy medicating each other. So, okay. So there's that cleanse gone, that's fine. Wasn't expecting poison to do very much to them anyway. If you're wondering why Poison Mist is doing so much, it normally doesn't. Usually does about like 20 to 30. It's just kind of a bonus effect, but because this guy is so over-leveled, he is essentially getting a ton of extra damage that he technically shouldn't have. It drops off as the game progresses, as you'd expect it to. Alright, there we go. He's not wanting to get close for some reason. That's fine. That's perfectly fine by me. Please dodge. Thank you. Claw Warrior is not a problem this time, because he's not throwing poison out there. I really should have been ready for that the first time. But there will be a lot of cases where we'll just be going back and kind of adjusting for very specific things that didn't get accounted for. Alright, so now we'll go for the Poison Mist here. That should look real good right there. It might miss Oz. Yeah, it did. Alright, that's fine. We can still start heading up this way. They're still going to be distracted. I haven't gotten a full TP charge anyway. Meter's about halfway full, since we haven't really been doing a whole lot of frontline fighting here. Which is fine. We've been saving a good bit of health. They've been decently distracted off everything. And as long as I can get some damage onto Oz before we get there, we already know that we can get him for everything short of 5 of his health. So they're good and distracted. This is always the kind of stuff that I'm talking about for manipulating the AI. You can just kind of get them to do very specific situations. There we go. So we're slowly wearing him down. He's going to go for a cast. That's okay. Now, are you going to stand on an edge? You absolutely are. Okay. If this guy attacks, which he will, we should be about full meter here. Please crit. No crit. That's unfortunate, but oh well. Now, what I'm going to want is to get that poison off on Oz. So I'm probably going to run into that little nook. He's going to probably try to do some shenanigans there, because we're very close to being maxed out here. So yeah, 321 right now. So I'm probably going to run right here to make sure that I'm not taking too many hits, but we're going to go ahead and throw this mist out there. That should weaken him down. It should hit him. Might take out that one over there with poison, but we'll see. Now, the reason that I'm moving here, he has a bar. If I face this way, there's a more than decent chance he's going to try to take a swing. Our dodge is high enough that we might be able to dodge it, but we should only face one direct attack. The archers should have awkward angles for this little nook, so hopefully we shouldn't be seeing too much of that. These guys also can't use a lot of their main missiles, so we'll see how that goes. If all goes well, we should be able to just survive in this little cubbyhole, and hopefully Oz will decide to sit close by, then we can deal with stuff from there. Unfortunately, that guy did move first. I could have checked that, but they all look the same, so man. There we go, there's Dark Prison. Now I just need my turn. Okay, that turn's not coming. He got the stop. I forgot he has stop. Okay, well, never mind. That is it right there. Because he can't actually get a turn at this point. At least not without the entire team moving twice, so we're going to go ahead and redo that one. As you do. Yeah, I'm looking forward to 2 fights from now. Because after this, like, as soon as we get the TK to 28, we're done. We don't need to use the class anymore, unless we specifically want to. So, it is how it is. Again, the Dragoon absolutely ruins in this fight, because you can just skip half the map. You can just jump all the way to the top. Hello there, Mr. Evan. How's it going? Yeah, I did a little bit of a whoops there. It happens. Alright, so skill-wise, let's go ahead and change that stuff out again. We don't need Shadow Break, but we do need Poison Ward. I probably should have saved before doing that. Actually, I didn't need those other skills on him. As far as this, do we want to go Hauberk? I mean, I kind of want to go Hauberk, to be honest. Maybe not. We can go for this. Basically, this will give him a little bit of Vit and a little bit of health. So that should reduce caster damage down to next to nothing, if at all. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right. Yes, yes, yes. Everybody's all chatty-like. and away we go. So it's funny because, yeah, we actually have more health than the boss. But, oh well. So it's alright. How's the run going? The Oz fight is probably the least favorite TO. This is not nearly as bad as I would have thought, actually. I was expecting to have to go to train up the Dragoon to make this happen, since you can basically use Dragonfly to hop up the walls there. But what I was saying earlier is I've actually been re-evaluating a lot of the route, because there's a few roadblocks in Chapter 4 that become very difficult to deal with. So for a lot of them, like for the fight the leader fights, you can usually just get to them through some means or another, squash them, and you're done. It's just basically a matter of focusing in on very single target damage. But when it comes to this, when it comes to a few other things, I didn't turn out to need more options. So, for example, to even get into the Palace of the Dead, it became pretty clear that we'd have to be using some kind of range damage. So I'm probably going to end up going for the Gunblade there. The alternative to that is to actually just try to use Thunder Beast with a fully augmented Lightning Dragon Slayer, which might potentially one-shot most of the casters there, but it basically requires getting targeted by them, not getting swarmed, probably draining them of MP or something beforehand, and then essentially getting a hit off before they can do the business, as it were, because if you don't remember, the first fight at Palace of the Dead is a story fight. It is essentially just an entire team of casters, which, again, for a solo run, this is like the one thing that's absolutely the worst. So it's an entire team of casters, more than half of which have Draconic available to them, which is, again, the big weakness of the solo build here, because it's very hard to avoid. So, been trying to get through that one, been trying to figure out a better way through Palace of the Dead. There's a lot of stuff like that going on, but alright, we're gonna go ahead and throw the Strengthen up here. There we go. Whoops, I accidentally hit the mic there. My bad. Alright, so back to it here. What I'm thinking is we're going to skirt up the right side and let these guys counter themselves, right? So you're going to let all the melee guys just charge forward. We're just going to stay away from all the casters and archers entirely. They're just going to sort her out, very unfortunately. And then, yeah, we deal with the close range. We try not to use any TP abilities whatsoever. See, is there an evade but for magic? Well, yeah, evade works for magic, that's the thing. The best counter to it is essentially Phantom Cloak, Leggings, and then Ring of Evasion, plus, what's it? Sorry, I went a little bit brain dead there for a second. Plus Steel Stance on a Swordmaster. So that will essentially reduce their damage to roughly the 50-ish range in the endgame. If it hits at all, which it's close, but again, it still can get very oppressive very fast, is the problem. Alright, now let's see if we can throw this Poison Mist out here. It's not really worth it for the damage, so we're just gonna... No, we're gonna take a quick step back, throw on some more buffs. Probably throw on a Resilience. But yeah, there's a lot of weird factors that just never come into play in a normal run going on here. So Phantom Cloak with matching leggings, you say? I think those are for those are on sale at Hot Topic this week. Yeah, and funnily enough, was out of mall out of curiosity. Was going through through Hot Topic with the kids, which, yeah, I mean that shouldn't have been a thing to know not to do. Didn't realize the section they had in the back there. Was not expecting that, gotta say. Like, I mean, I guess it fits the theme, but, yeah. Anywho. But yeah, so as far as evasion goes, as far as why, oh, never been in a Hot Topic before? Imagine very, very angsty stuff, and then in the back of the store they have, we're just gonna go ahead and go with adult entertainment. Anywho, so, wow, you're actually not going for the finisher. Interesting. They must have not had one. what are you doing to the tots? But we were just looking at funny coffee mugs, and then suddenly there's definitely not massagers on the wall. Topics in the front, hot in the back. I mean, it checks out. Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. So, previous thing, before we got distracted by this very hot topic. So, evasion, right? So, as far as layers of evasion and what's going on with all that business. Yes! Alright, that is some nice convenience right there. We're going to take this bag. We don't likely need it, but we'll see what's in there. Avoid them like the plague. Know what they're about. Like, I knew what they were about, but I thought it was just, like, edgy stuff. I didn't really think that was back there. But, oh well. It is what it is. It's not like anybody got traumatized or knew what the hell was going on. But, okay, so, attempt number 5. Evasion, right? So, as far as evasion goes, like, the main avoidance stat works for everything. It works for debuffs, it works for casters, it works for basic attacks. It covers the full spectrum of everything. Debuffs have higher accuracy. Draconic spells have higher accuracy. You essentially need other options to get past them, as it were. Let's see. But anyway, so yeah, you want other options in order to get around them. So yeah, if you put on dodge or something like that, it'll help a little bit. If you put on steel stance, it'll reduce the damage of basic casts down to next to nothing. For draconic stuff, it'll reduce it by 25-30-ish%, give or take. That'll just at least blunt the edge of them. So it's solid for that. Like, Steel Stance is one of the best abilities, as far as I'm concerned, for this run. We'll see how it ends up getting routed in, but just because it's kind of a little bit awkward to do, but we'll see how it goes. But the problem is, you might be thinking Resilience, you know, it gives you magic defense. Surely that would help. But with everything else optimized how it is, you don't necessarily need Resilience, because it essentially just boosts your defense against scale damage. So your bonus damage is kind of just a thing that's tacked on to whatever damage at the end. So you have your attack score, gets past their defense score, that leftover number is what scales up with the bonus damage. That scaled up bonus damage is what gets reduced by Resilience or Fortify or stuff like that. So, for example, early on in the game, that's why, like, when you pick up Strengthen or something like that, you end up seeing more effect in the base game. Well, no. I should take that back a second. You don't see as much effect from a Strengthen unless they were already going to do a ton of damage. But if you have a Fortify, that unit tends to be a lot more sturdy, but it doesn't always guarantee it. So, like, you'd want it on a caster that's likely to have that full bleed through of damage, but if you put it on a tank, it's functionally worthless. And unfortunately, he got the stop off. Hopefully, we've opened enough of a gap here that this is survivable. Also, while this is playing out, we'll see if this results in a game over or not. I can't really do anything for a couple rounds here. I'm going to step away for just a sec. Just make sure everybody's all topped off on snacks, so one moment. Okie dokie. Back to another attempt. And let's do this thing. So, the helmet seemed like a solid choice. So I think we're just going to go full tank here. See how that ends up working out. Silver Slayer is fine. Let's go ahead and put Poison Ward on there. And there we go. Yeah, it feels weird to be back in the early part of the game because I've been routing Chapter 4 so much. But, yeah, it feels weird to be back in the early part of the game with so few points available. Have faith, just like Fred Durst would want. Yeah, considering that you've only got 2 to 4 hours to work with, that is, you've been getting. Sounds like you've been getting a lot done. Hell, been putting out short stories, been putting out books. Mr. Busy over there. Call you Captain Words per minute. All right. So travel is done for the year. Yeah, definitely a good time to be done traveling, because it seems like there's snowstorms everywhere. We actually just had the folks, actually they're leaving right about now. Let me double check that their flight's going well. But yeah, it's been an awesome week here. Folks from across the country have they were saving for months to make a trip happen to come see us, and it's good times. It's good times. I haven't gotten to see them in forever. All these Floridians figuring out how snow works, went sledding and stuff. It's actually great. There's the one spot that's not covered in dog turds on this property here is the one that's perfect for sledding. Worked out nicely. All right, so back to it then. So the whole thing of getting everybody close here and just dealing with them seems fine. I'm thinking one possible alternative idea might just be to run up the side and see about throwing a breach onto Oz. That would basically guarantee an insta-kill at a full bar. If we get Strength and Breach and 225, then that would do the trick. Like once we get past this fight, this one in particular is just a doozy because of Oz. He is difficult to deal with in a lot of situations. I will say it's easier to deal with him here than it is to deal with him on the law route, because you got to deal with Balzaphon at the same time. That guy's fine. We're just going to let him take one more swing. Going to go ahead and throw that strengthen up. And then we're going to go ahead and move on from there. So you have snow still? Yes. Yes, we do have snow. We actually had a dang near blizzard yesterday. It was blowing about all over the place. Actually, they were worried about even going over to the airport, because the roads were completely frozen over. Like, oh man, there was this weird crash yesterday in the morning. So I'm taking my wife to work, right? And yeah, there was this little slick spot on our property there, because I say our property, it's not like the apartment complex, okay? I wish we owned it, but no. The only properties I ever own are absolute garbage in the ghetto that's worth a couple $100 maybe. Anyway, so what was I getting at? So yeah, so there was this little slick spot, and I'm driving along, and just the car starts going. There's no brakes, no nothing. It's just, full party time with sledding. So just yelling and screaming to pay attention to the road, and like, I was paying attention to the road. It looks like all the rest of the road. So anyway, we stopped skidding. Thankfully, there was nobody else there. On the way back, though, end up seeing it again, and there was this. Basically right next to it, right next to where we started skidding, there was somebody that had gone sliding in the exact same way. They skidded completely sideways, ended up slamming with their passenger side door into the back of a pickup that was sitting at a stop sign there. It's like, man, that is a weird crash to try to explain. It's like, how exactly did you reverse T-bone somebody? But at least I got a story to share, right? Oh man, I'm miscounting this. I just noticed he's still got counter 2, not counter 3. Or no, he's got counter 1, not counter 3. Dang it, brain! Get out of Chapter 4 mode! Alright, well, we know melee guys just gonna keep running into them, so it's fine keeping them on low health. This does give an opportunity to run up and possibly throw a breach onto Oz. If that guy doesn't get too close. Yeah, healer's gonna go ahead and do his thing. If we get a breach onto Oz, there's enough debuffs flying around. That's workable. It's workable. Well, yeah, as far as snow goes, we have a decent amount of snow and ice going on right now. Alright, gonna go for the cleanse. That's fine. Early game knights are not much of a threat to this kind of build. Yeah, perfect. We can get a breach on him. Because we're just gonna go chuck a jug onto him. Like, here you go, peace offering. This makes... Aww. Aw, I forgot that has vertical intolerance. Okay. What can we do here? We can throw that out. That should still do the trick. There we go. Poison and weakened. I actually wasn't sure you can get weakened. Alright, so we got 1 round to run up and ruin his day. 1 round is all we got. Hopefully that that knight will run up and get himself countered again, which should solve our little conundrum with somebody else needing to be healed. Because if nobody else is within healing range, they will heal Oz, and that is not something that I want to do. We can deal 349 with a full swing. We already know that. His stats will not be changing. Everybody else might be, but he's static. So that's all well and good. Good. You run up, you do your thing, sir. Perfect. So he ended his turn right there. The problem... if we throw a false strike on him, we don't have a full bar right now, so if we throw a false strike on him, then this can still work. Because a false strike means he can miss with his finisher. And then we just need to get into a nice, safe, possibly survivable spot. There's also the possibility of just running up the stairs, blocking it off. Because, yeah, we only get 249 on him right now. Okay. So, options here. Basically, poison and weaken this chunk. That'll do some stuff. Or we can move right here. In fact, actually, right here might be the better spot. Yeah. And then there's no worry about melee follow-up. We go ahead and throw the poison mist out here. Should throw these guys into chaos. Yeah, those two in particular. That'll give a nice couple turns of healing. Is Oz going to wind up in the 90s? No, he's going to have his full thing here. That'll keep them distracted, but it won't stop Oz. Okay, better idea. Which, by the way, that's just resetting your turn. That doesn't actually count as a chariot use. Let me see if I have... I should have a false strike in here somewhere. False strike, there we go. So if we throw that on him, there's a very good chance that he'll miss. If he misses, then we can make some stuff happen. In which case, the better tile would be right here, because then this guy decides to attack. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can he make this jump? It should be a 2 jump, yeah? Okay. So yeah, he can make the jump to attack from here. So we already did our action for the turn. That's fine. That's not going to do too much. There we are. Boy. Yeah, still got a cough after all is said and done, unfortunately. Alright, so we got the false strike. We didn't get the breach, though. My crit? No crit. Alright, I need Oz to be the one that runs forward. Crap. Please crit. Please crit. Crap. Yeah, that's it. Well, interestingly, he went for Ice Prison there, so I guess the other one would have been nearly inviolable. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So we got 4 turns to beat this fight, so TK is still going to be perfect for this. What we need is simple. We need those gaunts. We need... Oops. So yeah, gaunts will give us enough damage to be able to pull this off. So we'll do helmet and gaunts, I think. Yeah. And then we'll be probably going to vest, I think, just to be a little bit faster. Alright, that ups our avoidance by 10. Actually, no, the Vit will be more useful. So, okay, is there anything else we want to put on here? Maybe Fearful Impact seems like it would be nice, but again, we're not using it. We can only use it on one class, so if we're going to only have one skill on him, it's going to be Lament of the Dead. Also, another funny thing, you'd think Reflect skills would be super useful on this run. No, we're not going to be using them. At least not without exception to a couple of cases where it would be useful. It's very, very limited in use, let's just put it that way. There's exactly one fight that I will consider using it, and it's only because of some extreme shenanigans. And that's basically a case where you can stack your both your magic and physical reflect. And if there's a case where, yeah, you can just sit there and reflect and heal, and you don't have to worry about it, and the other guy can't heal, which, again, there's exactly one fight that I expect to use that for, then that will be the plan. If you're wondering, that's Roderick, which we're not even remotely close to, so we're going to leave that as it is. So let's go ahead and go do Bode now. Basically, the deal with Roderick is that you have a doppelganger, but you also have you also have Warren in your party. That's the fight where you rescue Warren in floor 115 of Battles of the Dead. So yeah, again, a long ways away. But yeah, it's a weird one. It's a very weird one to actually deal with. Just because you can shield bash your doppelganger off a cliff, but you still have to kind of sit there and tank all the hits for Warren. So if you put yourself in a position where you're technically taking more damage, so he always goes for you, but then also have a way to avoid said damage, and or reflect it, and or sit and recover, then you can kind of cheese the fight and use him for most of the fight. Figuring out the numbers is a bit of a tricky one, because that changes every time. So overall, it's gonna suck. Like every other time, the Roderick fight is gonna suck. It's just such an annoying fight that, like, we're literally just going to a position where we have to somehow get exactly onto the edge of a particular area, and just hope not to screw it up. Alright. So we can't use Strengthen and Spellcraft at the same time, so I'm going to use same setup. However, this time we're going to let everybody get close. And fights like this, by the way, are another reason that we'll also be routing in two-handed katanas at some point as well. If I had one of those here, that would sort out this problem, well, no trouble, really. Actually, a Swordmaster with a 2 HK here would, well, in this same position, it would be crushing this fight right now. But we can't quite do it yet. See, part of the reason is I want to use a low-level Swordmaster for a very particular part in the game later. So we don't want to use it just yet. I'm considering not doing that, though. Like, for part of Farampa, it's somewhat easier to use a low-level Swordmaster and Squash, which, interestingly, it can use. So Squash basically lets you take down trees, which doesn't seem like it would be that helpful. But, with the right setup and the right everything, you can essentially take a Swordmaster there and carve through the trees of that U-turn map, or the kind of U-shaped map. So you just literally punch through all the trees, get to the bottom, and then yeah, from there you kind of just make yourself a little nook. Just kind of sit there fighting everybody out, keeping three parts of the trees away from you. It's a very difficult fight anyway. See, Squash explodes whole trees, yes. So that's the funny thing. Squash was originally a skill that was very worthless. So again, you have only 10 skill slots for everything, right? All your counters, all your passives, all your actives, everything. So, for example, if there's a skill that only let you take out one very particular type of object, obviously nobody's ever going to take it. The original Squash, I believe, was just you can take down barricades. there is one class originally that could put down barricades. And that was Rune Fencers, and actually I believe Fusiliers could do it too, but yeah, no, it was Fusiliers, and it was Rune Fencers that could put down barricades. They never used it, though, because it was one of their most expensive abilities. One thing that you did see a decent bit of was Knights occasionally putting down Shadows, which are basically the same thing but better. But yeah, it was completely worthless for the most part. All right, let's see if we can just Poison Mist all these guys. Yeah, there we go. I'll just cut this Gordian knot. He says he cuts an entire tree with a laugh. But gourds grow in the ground. That's the problem. That's the problem with that joke. But no. So anyway, Squash got upgraded in the mod so that it deletes entire trees. The funny part is, yeah, in vanilla there never would have been a use for such an ability because it already existed in the form of cursed weapons, which could just chop trees in half. Which was funny, but it was kind of pointless. Anywho, so yeah, Squash got upgraded in the mod so that it actually affects all terrain objects, which does include punching trees in half, funnily enough. Now, normally this would be a problem because you can only do 1 to 2 damage to 2 objects in the field, which normally they have like up to 5 health. Trees in particular, though, have 12, so you'd literally have to spend their 6 to 7 turns just trying to punch through the dang thing. Alright, yeah, these guys are just going to get themselves killed over and over, so let's go ahead and throw some buffs on. Get a strength in going here. And this is the cool part, once we get the White Knight going, that you still have an action on top of your strengthen buff, so it's a lot more useful than this. Again, a bit more centralized, but a lot more useful, so we probably will be using the White Knight more than anything else. So patch note, Squash has been upgraded and now works on squash, winter squash, zucchini, butter squash, pumpkins, yams, and whole trees. I completely missed that joke, I apologize. But yeah, just like Shadow Break, previously only would get rid of shadows. Like, it would just delete them, but that, again, there was just never a reason to use... When you could just go and have somebody attack a thing twice and call it a day, there was no reason to use one of your very limited skill slots on a skill that said, hey, somebody might use one of their most expensive abilities, and there might be a very small possibility that it'll happen to be right in front of me. So it got to be within 1 tile. It costs a ton to be able to even use. But clearly, this is going to be a little bit of a problem to be a sell for anybody. All right, let's go ahead and throw this out there, I think. Actually, wait, why am I doing that? No. No. Drain Hard. Why am I not using Drain Hard here? It's the obvious... Because the name's right in front, that's why. But if I go for that one... There we go. Then he's going to be within range... I don't want that either. Alright, what kind of range are we talking on his finishers anyway? Let's double check that real quick. 2 to 3. 2 to 3 on all of them. He can move... there, right? There's literally nowhere I can move that he wouldn't be able to do something about it. Alright. So we want to force him to use one of the crappy ones. So yeah, let's just throw that Poison Mist out there. Alright, he's weakened at any rate. Hopefully he'll decide to go for the accurate one. Which will just do a shackle. Or not a shackle, but a bind. Which I am more than okay with. Anyway, 349, so he's at exactly what we need. Alright, is he going for... Yeah, no, he's going for prison. Please miss. Oof. Yeah, despite being stopped, you can still counter and everything else, so... We have to survive one more attack from Oz to be able to make it through this, I think. From the Warlock Scourge and Knot ability, this is just outright murder Golem. I never cast it. No. It's a Gorgon Key that you're thinking of. which basically, golems originally had an ability called Gorge and Lock, which was completely pointless because they were 9 vulnerable to damage anyway, but it made them almost entirely invincible. Basically, it just upped their defense by like 90%, I think it was. It's kind of like the original version of Phalanx that Knights had, where it just made them 9 vulnerable to damage. But the idea was that you stuck a golem in the middle of a team or whatever else, and instead of attacking, you just Oh, hello there! Thank you for bringing me a lay, apparently. Anyways, yeah, instead of attacking, you would just basically make them near invincible. So they would just sit there like a giant block, basically, and yeah, just sit and be annoying. So, very, very annoying ability to deal with in the base game. Now, figure this logic for me, okay? Like, I understand they're like the golem specialist. Like, golems have always been their thing. Part of that, though, was the fact that golems were always weak to magic, but they're already nigh invulnerable to it, even without an ability that makes them even more invulnerable to it, right? So, already there's a bit of a mismatch going on. But here's the thing. That ability basically requires one of your slowest moving, weakest physically classes to run up to one of the strongest. Wait, crap! I didn't mean to do this. One of the strongest attackers in the game, and one of the most consistent attackers in the game. As in the original solo run, they were one of the big problems. And basically go up and use this ability to turn off their near invincibility, so that somebody else can maybe have a chance of finishing them off. It's just such a bizarre feat of non-logic that I don't really understand how they got to that point. Like, it literally is just a pretty much point-blank move. Yeah, no, we didn't want to take this fight. It's basically a point-blank move that requires you to do that. It's real dumb. It's real dumb. So, we're going to go ahead and take a quick step back here. Because, again, we need the TK to take that fight, but for the time being, we need Grand Cross, I believe. So here's what's going on skill-wise. So we're not quite at rank 2 yet for Augment Air. We're at rank 6 for swords. We need rank 8 to pick up Grand Cross. So for the time being, I believe the best step is going to be to train up some of these other classes. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to a Dragoon, and we're going to start working on that Augment. Now, once we get Air to 2 and Swords to 7 or 8, then we should be able to just take him out without having to do the extra steps. So we're going to go ahead and keep most of the skills there. We can learn some new stuff. But as far as Instill goes, I don't believe it's even still available yet. No. So Instills aren't available on their list just yet. So I need to pick up Air Magic, though, to be able to pick up the Instill. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And we're going to go ahead and replace Dark with Air. Then we're also going to go pick up a few things at the store here. There's no large character limit in the PSP version? No. It's just... I mean, golems are good. It's just they're really, really slow. Alright, let's sell this guy some drugs, I guess. And then let's go ahead and pick up some abilities here. So, I guess I already had Deadshot, but we need Scathe. That's not going to be dropping anywhere. So just kind of show this here. There's not too many abilities that they get to use, but they get an area slow. They get a area kind of boom move. Unlike the TK, these guys actually have some... What are you doing? Oh, you want an apple? Okay, I have been requested to go wash an apple for my daughter real quick, so 1 sec, please. Alright, and back. Let's see, did you ever end up doing an all-golem Enchanter Warlock run with a leader named Gordon? Would consider it, but that's actually a run that that was suggested, that Rakes was suggesting a while ago, to actually do a run that was just like, just support classes and other things. They basically just call it the Pokemon Master Run, because you basically couldn't use a class unless you had a support class for it. Let's see. Darn, would be so terrible in OB64 if you had to raise them from clay and couldn't recruit wild Boulder Golems. Wait, can you actually just... True, because you can get the clay ones. Oh, man. For some reason, I thought you could get, like, a clay item. It's like what would you like to make out of this? You can make a pot, or you can make a permanent servant for life. But, anyway. Wait, that was weird. You ever have one of those ones where it's, like, kind of a hiccup and kind of a cough at the same time? You just kind of inhale awkwardly? Yeah. Anywho. Moving on. So, what I'm planning to do here, I'm going to get... Augment Air up to rank 2, ideally. Then we're gonna just go full Divine after that point. Let's see, the only time I saw a stone evolve into a boulder was when I accidentally hit one with a Fire and Lightning spell. I kind of wonder if there's a way to cheese Charm in some way to make that happen. Don't know. So yeah, tendency to turn the enemy into Boulder Golems. I have a preference for Lightning and Fire. Also, hello there, Matador. Let's see, good girl, and apple a day keeps the doc away? Exactly. Exactly. They're feeling super healthy right now. But yeah, no, she loves her apples. And the funny part is, she won't eat them unless they're properly cleaned. Just, apparently we got that instilled early. So, like, she'll just run up and like, apple, apple! Daddy, clean apple! Or my favorite one, when she started making puns and just started, like, kept saying apple please. So it just turned into Appleese. It's adorable. So, nice thing about this particular spawn right here is this happy situation right here. So, what we're gonna do. We can't really use any of the spells yet. That'll come later. But what we're gonna do is just gonna get all super beef-like. And then she's going to go ahead and attack from the side. And he's going to go ahead and counter, at which point she will not get her next turn by the time that he can do the next thing. Because, again, she has no options to heal or regenerate or anything else, so just can get the hit off right there. Wait a minute. Why? Interesting. Alright, might take a little bit more than I thought, actually. Because why are you only doing... Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's because he's... Okay, I keep thinking that he's doing full counter damage. Excuse me for that. We're good. This is all good. Let's see. Also keeps a dentist in pay. Suppose so. Suppose so. I wish OB64 had more hidden transformations and spell combinations. It was just kind of all fire and lightning. Well, that is something you can probably request from the mod. The mod is still in development for that one, and they've done a lot of really good stuff so far. Also, slight issue here. Let's see, we can delete any one of these. So we're just going to go ahead and delete this guy. Try to survive the caster, basically. This might just be an insta-dead. Actually, no. If we go this way, we can just avoid everyone. Yeah, we're going to go this way, then we're going to sit and recover for a little bit, because they can't really do very much damage. I say as we're just immediately dying. But as you can see, we can 50 heals would be enough to keep us running in this case. I forgot to put the other ability on. So we're going to go ahead and go this way. Should sell those lifeline gems for sure. Stop thinking? No. I think way too much. It's usually dumb things, but you know, sometimes occasionally a good thought slips through. Alright. See, multiple styles of golems depending on the magic they were hit with. I think Himeko's story was doing something like that. Because they've been, they were going for a ton of different types of units, so I think you could transform them into, like, different flavors of stuff. I know fairies had that, and I know dogs had that, and you could switch them between modes. It wasn't like they were transformations, though they have mentioned interest in the past. Oh, this guy! With his low percentage hit chance taking his crits. What a douche. Alright, let's go ahead and take this tile here. We're definitely not going to hit next round. Actually, realistically, I almost want to finish him off, but maybe not. Let's see, multiple stones going. It'd be fun if blue dragons had to be hit by water spells to evolve into a Hydra, or air spells to make a Griffin into an Epicus. Sure, that'd be neat. Wonder if, Well, hang on, one quick thought here. Well, this'll sort him out pretty nice. We'll get rid of one guy. Get rid of Mace Boy, and we can go ahead and reference FF7, or FFT and FF7 at the same time. It's a handy little combo. Blocked it with a sword somehow. That makes total sense. And bind, almost certain. Perfect. Alright, unfortunately Strengthen went away. Wheel of Fortune, perfect. That's going to give us a little bit of, I believe this one's Avoidance, which is always nice to have more of. Cards, again, are a little bit difficult to come by, but during these little mini grind sessions, we're going to get a little bit of extra stuff going on. This wizard. Get out of here, wizard. Dang Wizrobes. So we can kind of, sort of survive some of it. Unfortunately, he can keep doing that as long as he wants. No, we need to walk away. We need to get a Strengthen. No. What we need is we need to be still in range. So what is the range on your casts here? Deadshot is a 3 to 6. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to go ahead and move to that tile right here. He's going to cast and he's going to walk away. So we're going to just tank this round. Take it. He's going to back off, and then we'll. Yeah, as long as the archer doesn't crit, we'll be okay. Because they don't have finishers yet, so he'll back up now. Perfect. Because what we need is a Strengthen. Then if we get a Strengthen, I will double check, but it should last long enough to get up to him and finish him with one swing. See, is picking up a card a perma upgrade or just temporary for the fight you're in? It is a perma upgrade with an asterisk on it. Basically, it is about 1/3 of a point, give or take. So it's a very, very, very minor perma upgrade. In this mod, it is 0.1 to 0.6 that it upgrades, but there's a lot fewer ways to actually get upgrades. So, for example, cards are one of them, and they're not the most... Like, I'd say they're semi-common. It's more like a 1 in 3 chance that they're going to drop a card. And then many of them just aren't really anything useful. Actually, we don't need the Strengthen. I can just run up and finish him now. There we go. So yeah, it's permanent. Also, another thing to consider that with this mod, you're not getting... you're not necessarily scaling your stuff as much. So, for example, getting all that extra... Avoidance is one of the ones that'll be good in all situations. HP will be good in all situations, but, for example, trying to go stack Strength or Dex or whatever else will not give you the insane mega damage that it did in the original game. So, like, in the original, you would just get all your stats up to 100 by the end of a run, and it's like, okay, this guy can just basically be a god now. Like, nothing can touch them. They literally become invincible to magic for all intents and purposes. The only thing that ends up being able to hit them in vanilla is basically bows. It's like bows and finishers and some bosses and golems. Everything else pretty much falls off. So, and that was mostly because in the original you ended up getting more of these for every level that you went in a different class. So, for example, right here he would have gotten basically the equivalent of one of those cards for every level, to a different degree, to every single stat, depending on what class they were. So, for example, Strength and Vit would have gone up a decent amount for being a Dragoon, so he would have gotten at least a couple points in each of these from that quick level up there, because he's all the way up to 7 now. So, it was a little bit of a iffy system. Like, it's cool from a... it feels like they're learning perspective. What's up, kiddo? What am I doing? Oh, I'm putting stuff together in a menu at the moment. What are you doing? What's that? The thing's orange? I mean, it's kind of like a goldish, I think. But, you know. Where's the rest? I mean, wait, you mean this? What's up? Where's the waters? I mean...
Where's?
What's up?
You Mars.
Now we get to Mars? I'm not sure. That's not something I think about on a regular basis. What about blue? Well, blue's still there. Right, see, it's still there. Alright. Also, Kiddo says hi. You like blue? I know you like blue. You go jump instead? Okay. Alright. Oh, I'm good. That's your apple. You can put it in the sink if you don't want it. Okay. She's freaking adorable. Do you want to use this party? Almost. Hang on. Let me double check one thing here. Yeah, Field Act 1. Okay, so... As much as I need to pick up Dragonfly, I need Field Act 1 on him right now. There we go. And away we go. So yeah, needless to say, the original version was super abusable. That's what makes this run a challenge. Because it's basically the same game with all of the abuses removed. So like, for anyone that was watching the videos of the solo lucked run, like it basically by this point you can have almost maxed out stats. Like I think I had base stats of 70 or 80 by this point, and I hadn't even gone for the full grind. So more or less more than double the strength of this guy right now. Plus you could actually use anatomy on everyone, which already is just busted. Plus on top of that could use what's it? Could basically stack anatomy, stack basic weapon proficiency, could stack an element, could stack racial stuff, racial stuff from weapons, I should clarify. Couldn't use this cleric abuse thing, though to be fair, base game clerics were kind of worthless. Anywho, it was just so much stuff that you could cheese. But yeah, there's plenty of stuff that you can cheese in the mod too. Yeah, personally, I just find it more satisfying when the game actually puts up some resistance to the cheese. Like, I'm sure I can't be the only one that has that. Like, it legit began to bug me after a while with a vanilla run where you just, like, go into a fight. They're like, look at me! I've got resist silence on in, like, late Coda Chapter 3. It's like... What? Why? your basic equipment already gives you immunity. Why do you need the resistance?
Cookie.
Cookie? Well, you gotta go to the potty to get a cookie. Can you go do that? Okay. And then we're gonna go do that. Man, ever since cookies became a massive prize, potty training became such a breeze. Cheese and salt? Yes. I gotta have that salty cheese. Oh, yeah, there's another card. Strengthen cards, I'd say, or strength cards are probably one of my favorites here, just because you can, you get attack and defense off of it, and it's defense against a good number of things. Like, it'll reduce range damage, reduce melee damage. It doesn't really do anything versus casts, but, I mean, you're still getting extra damage to yourself on top of it. It's like right there, I had 37 strength going into this. There's a chance that it might have gone up to 38. We can check after the fight. I don't think it'll show me it. Because, yeah, I don't think there's any way to view base stats in this menu. So, whatever. After the fight, somebody remind me to go check if it went up. Because it's kind of like a maybe, will it go up by 1 point or not. But just to give you an idea, most of the equipment at this point gives a boost of about 6 to a particular stat, so it's significant. It is definitely significant. But with augments and now rank 7 in weapon proficiency, we can easily one-shot anything here, with a finisher anyway. So we're not going to be waiting for any meters or anything, but we did basically get 4% extra damage just passively. Again, it feels closer to 10%, but the actual stat is 4%, and then 3 accuracy per weapon rank, and then per augment as well. Certainly feels like more. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna go ahead and start throwing some dead shots around because we wanna get those augments up. So casting is gonna be the fastest way to get your augments up. The second fastest is putting an Instill on your weapon, which we will be able to do after this round. Unfortunately, this is where clerics get really annoying with dispels. Them suckers are just a massive annoyance, and there's no way around that. Because anytime they've got nothing better to do, they will just dispel any buffs you've got going on, which is, again, one of the reasons that both the Terror Knight and White Knight are just fantastic. Because they can basically keep their weapons going through at least one layer of the spell. Terror Knights are technically the best with that because they probably won't be dispelled, because they'll probably be wasting all their MP on ease trying to get rid of Lament of the Dead, which will take them about 5 turns to do. So it keeps them very, very busy. So we're going to go ahead and slap this guy a little bit. He's going to heal himself. Then we're going to finish him with a finisher. But it is at this point when Tremendous Shot starts coming in that we got to worry about getting knocked around a little bit more. So that's when we start standing on edges. For example, if I'd gone for the attack from the front, it still would have hit. It would have been very slightly faster as far as recovery is concerned, but we would have potentially been knocked back, which would have wasted more time in the future. Yes, I know these are really weird considerations to be thinking about all the time. Just, it's fine. It's effective. Just take my word for it. Every time I'm going into these explanations, I'm feeling like I think it was from Community. It's like that one meme of the guy just like pointing to the board with all this stuff connected together in his big conspiracy theory. It's like, no, you gotta do this thing, and then you gotta connect to this, and then it prevents this thing, which I swear will happen, but... it's a thing. Alright. I was hoping for a crit there. Yeah, whatever. Just take this world card. I will be pissed if they all crit and kill him now, because that resistance card is very handy. I don't believe they've got the raw damage to be able to pull that off, even. Yeah, no, they're... Honestly, we might not even need to heal the rest of this fight. Yeah, the crossbow's the biggest damage, and it is now dead. I would say they have a chance to parry, but who are we kidding? They can't. They've got nothing to parry with. Badonk. We should probably finish him off with dead shots. Yeah, one will get finished up. Actually, no, maybe we're better off just wasting the heal here, and then just finishing him off with dead shots for working on that augment. That is what we're trying to do here, after all. It'll start going up really fast once we pick up Instill after this fight. Actually, no, it might be the fight after this, because I believe it's at level 12. So, we'll pick up Instill, which will mean that every counterattack has a extra little thingy to it. Alright, let's go ahead and throw this out. And we're getting about 2% training for every cast, by the way. So, we were at 17, we're already at 22. And away we go. Only problem is it takes a little while, because archers always feel like moving around. But if we just sit here and repeatedly snipe, then we should be alright. And there we go, now we should be up to 24. Okay, 23.1. It's like 1 point something, but still, it feels like 2. Close enough. And again, you get a little bit of extra experience based off overflow damage, I believe. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Sonic Blade on her. That should... or maybe not. Let's go ahead and hit this guy. But yeah, that should sort out a little bit of extra experience. We'll see. I'm not entirely sure how it scales up, but my belief is that it's 0.1 extra experience per extra 10, or rather per 10 damage, or something to that effect. Again, I don't really have any hard numbers on that. Rakes wasn't able to find anything that really supported or didn't really did anything against it. It's just unclear. But whatever, we'll see. We'll see. There we go. Alright, and I guess we'll just use the Sonic Blade on the other one. Now, I should point out one more thing. If you're thinking that I picked up Scathe, which is this one right here, this one's an AoE. You don't actually get trained for every individual hit. It's per action that you do with it. So each individual hit does not boost it. And I believe there's something a little bit more to how it all scales up to. Like, let's go ahead and double check here. Oh, almost wasn't able to double check. So we got, what is it, 25.1 or something? 25.9. So we're getting 1 point something per everything else. Let's go ahead and take the Sonic Blade swing for almost double this guy's health. And so he had 13 health. We did about 300 damage, give or take. Right? So, let's see what happened there. See if anybody likes math around here. So we got 1.8 out of that. So I mean, I guess technically it would have been more effective still. Oh well, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter too much. Alright, Silver Slayer's at 10. Let's see when we can pick up that Instill. Instill Air, okay, yeah, we can already get it. So that's at 7, not anything else. Alright. So it is at this point that we can put away Poison Ward for the time being. There will be units with claws, but for now we don't need to worry about it. But we need to worry about getting him up to about, I would say right about level 20-ish. That would be ideal for this one, because we still want to be able to pick up Dragonfly. That's when we can more or less fly up to the top of that castle thing. Basically take over the top area while Oz is still busy putzing around. Essentially use a ginseng to be able to do so in the first place. So his movement is amazing, which I believe we can actually buy at this point, right? Yeah, we can just buy ginseng, aka Power Fruit. I've asked him to rename those to Power Fruit several times, but that's a negative. Oh well, let's see, need to head off to the post office here in a little. When does the afternoon stream start again? It's ideally 1 to 4, somewhere abouts. So, you just kind of let me know. Yeah, I was thinking 1 to 4. Eastern Standard Time, if that's, like, right now I'm seeing 9:28. So, let me know how that works. If you want to do slightly, start it slightly later. Alright. Yeah, we got that. Hang on, we got Peppa Pig going on here. Not supposed to have that right now. Alright, time sounds good? Alright, glad to hear it. Alright, what do we got going on here? We got casters, we got a no recovery party. Perfect. So, we can just go ahead and harass these guys with casts over and over. Don't even need to get strength on, to be honest. We're just gonna go ahead and plink away, because we're getting that slight experience throughout this entire time anyway. So again, goal right now is rank 2 air. Rank 8 swords, Dragonfly if it's convenient, and then yeah, once we hit about 20-ish, we should be able to just completely curb stomp that fight. Alright, so for the sake of comparison, this should do about 0.8 per hit when I was testing it earlier. So we're getting 27.4. As you can see, pretty insane-o damage going on. Whoa. Crazy lag spike going on as well. And yeah, there we go. So it's like 0.6 to 0.8. It's somewhat randomized. It's unclear whether it's really randomized or affected by something weird. I don't know. But yeah, up until we start using the White Knight, what's it? The Dragoon here is going to be some of the best damage that we can get. And it's just because of that Instill. You can get so much out of it. Alright. So, what are you going to do? You're going to steal my items for no reason? Okay, fantastic. Alrighty, and back. Sorry, my son got randomly upset about something. Alright, so here's the plan. Essentially just running forward. She's not going to be able to pull off another Scathe, so what we're going to do, we're just going to try to avoid the caster, go in this direction. She might be able to attack from here. I'm not too fussed about it. I've got a nice solid heal going on right now. And then we'll go there. Actually, I forgot. I can't actually use the Dragoon for that fight, but the extra levels should sort out this problem all the same. Yeah, if I could use something with a good heal, then that'd be a bit of a different story. Oh, you terrible person! Stop using Dispel! Man. It's kind of annoying that they get access to that, to be honest. But, oh well. Oh well, it's manageable. It's one of those things that literally never becomes annoying until you start, until you start trying to do a solo run or something. It's like, please stop taking away my buffs. I need those. I need them to be able to one-shot stuff. And you can't really resist it, because I'm pretty sure it dispels 100%, no matter what. Which, again, it's a debuff removal thing. It's largely just because a lot of the ones that would be trying to remove that damage would be a lot of the same ones that would be able to resist them really well. So, makes sense, I suppose. If I recall in the vanilla game, like, Dispel only had like 20 to 30% odds to hit. That's probably why. But, oh well. We need to be backing up here, though. Because I need either a Strengthen or something. Because we're not able to really withstand all of it. I need that friggin' Fencer out of the way. Don't Dispel, you terrible person. Oh, Hell. Or Halo. Sorry, what am I saying? Okay, Halo's fine. I've heard it's pretty fun. Actually, it is pretty fun. I like it. Actually, been weirdly having was having Halo flashbacks yesterday. So I was kind of surprised that my wife got me. I was really looking forward to trying out Outer Worlds, and my wife had gotten it for me for Christmas. Except we're really bad at Christmas, so it's like we'd just come back and my niece had found it by the door. She's like, "Here you go, Merry Christmas." So anyway, but yeah, I was trying it out last night, and oh my goodness, it's like everything I could have wanted and more. Wasn't like I knew it was basically, you know, it's Fallout, but there's more Fallout now. Hang on, let's see, 154. Yeah, we're not gonna be without a full bar. We're not getting through that. Yeah, let's go this way. Let's go ahead and get a Strengthen going, because I need this Fencer gone. I can't stop. I can't keep just refreshing buffs 24/7. And this is, again, one of those things where the White Knight would just be able to dominate this, because they'd just be able to throw out Consecrate. Basically just one-shot crit more than likely. And then kind of go on from there. Alright, come on, block some of these. Thank you. Get a little bit of damage going. Yeah, Fencers become more and more annoying to deal with as the run goes on, by the way. Oh, what's wrong? Oh, does it need to be charged? Oh, can you go plug it in? Thank you. Alright, now we should be able to just squash. No. Alright. Screw it. Let's get this wizard out of the way. We're gonna go ahead and throw this Instill Air on there to defend the Strengthen. Actually, wait, we already had it. Didn't need to do that. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and heal. That's another thing that's very handy for getting in a Instill on your bar there. Basically, if you use it, you can put yourself into a position where you can defend having a Strengthen, just because the Instill is always the first one to get deleted. Strengthen is right behind it, followed by Accuracy, followed by other stuff. But yeah. Actually, wait a minute, what the hell? Why did it do it that time? That's bizarre. What's going on? Oh, really? Need some help? Alright. Alright, I'm coming. One sec. Alrighty, let's continue on. So, looks like we still need to continue trying to deal with this guy. Yeah, I want to say that there's a little bit of RNG to it. I think it's possible for it to miss one particular buff and go to the next one, because it's almost always the instill that goes first. Trying to think what happened there. Unless I'm just crazy and I've somehow been missing something incredibly obvious for like 200 hours of routing this thing. Who knows? Who knows? Alright. Can we one-shot you? Not quite, but we can get dang close. I'm gonna throw that out there so she's not doing any damage. I'm gonna throw this out there so we're going topped off. And away we go. Alright, whatever. Damage is fine, I guess. Block, please. No block. Alright. Oh, dang, he's got a 2. Dang it with your WAP 2s! So yeah, WAP is one of those ones that, if you're ever wondering why WAP is so strong in the mod, it's mostly because Dark doesn't affect other Dark things. So Dark is technically a slight bit physical, or not physically, but damage-wise is slightly stronger than the other ones. But it is going to be weaker. It's going to be weaker in a lot of different situations, so it's not as generally useful. Whereas it was kind of like the general everything in vanilla, as it were. All right, if she could stop double turning, that'd be fantastic. All right, and if everybody could stop critting and hitting and everything else, that'd also be fantastic. All right. Dang it, we're so close to being able to just finish him, but we can't. Gotta sit here, use a seed, and just wait. Just gotta wait. She'll go for damage. They'll each take a round. A little bit annoyed that he's getting his second round anyway. Or no, it got taken away from him at the last second. Okay, that's fine. That's workable. And that should give him just enough to finish off this annoying wizard. Stop with your WAP 2s. You've got to run out of those at some point. Usually they do end up draining themselves a little bit faster than this. Yeah, he's pretty close to done, because they're like 25 or something for a WAP 2. And he's only regenerating like maybe 12 or so per round. So he shouldn't be able to keep casting them like this. And once we get to the point of the game where tier 2s can just basically be ignored, it'll take a while to get there. Less so for this build, I guess, just because of his extra resistance that he started with. But it'll take a little bit less for this guy. But once we get to the point where tier 2s are less of a problem, basic casters become a lot less of a problem. They get a lot more range, but they take a much longer time to actually get their main abilities going, so you can give them a little bit more of a weight, as it were. Their debuffs become a lot stronger, unfortunately, but at least with a high avoidance, you can somewhat avoid that stuff. You can put yourself in a nice little safety spot, put a few barricades and stuff like that between yourself and everybody else. It'll eventually just turn into turning some maps into an outright anthill, but you know, it becomes tower defense at some point. So we'll continue on here. Now, the archers aren't as much of a problem, so I might as well just take swings at this one. And then Still Air will allow for hopefully two-shotting her. And not quite. And unfortunately, she's almost never going to physically attack. Between Dispels and Scathes and Halos and things like that, they tend to be able to throw their casts out pretty quick. Excuse me. No. Hang on. Alrighty, and back. So let's go do more of this Mending Seed type stuff and get this fight wrapped up. Hopefully get a couple more strengthening cards in there. I did forget to check whether we actually got that extra strength level last time, because if we get up to 38, that's already... that was the one of the breakaway points that I needed for a couple things. As stupid as it sounds, it is that one extra damage that was needed for one boss fight in particular. It's bizarre how that works out, but anyway. Alright, why don't we just do this? Not really worth it. Alright. Swing, call it good. Could have gotten a little extra instill action off there, but that's fine. Probably didn't even need that extra instill in the end. Alright. How much was she left with? Alright, that's fine. Finish her off. No card, unfortunately. Which is funny, because then later on in the game, it's going to be like, hey, can I please have a good drop? Good drops, anybody? No? Just cards? Okay. Yeah, once you get to scaled up stuff, when, you know, things get really hard and everything, you actually start seeing a lot of cards. Unfortunately, most of them are loyalty cards. That's not really anything that the mod did, it's just how the game spawns the cards. And I don't think there's any specific preference that the game has towards spawning loyalty cards. So those are Lover and Fool cards. It's a 1 out of 6 chance for every single type. And for some reason, those ones always tend to be the ones that drop. So, oh well. And there we go. Get some extra levels and stuff. So I guess we don't have to get this all the way up to 20. We just got to get swords up a couple ranks. I mean, hell, even what we already have is probably good enough, but look at that. Exactly 31.7 for each one. Starting to get parry up there. What will be nice, though, and what we'll have a chance for right now, is this is actually the last bit that we can reasonably expect to see stuff going up. So we'll sacrifice some avoidance, I think, for some defense, or will we? No, we're going to stick to a basic set here. So we can take one more fight before we get a bit overwhelmed by scaling. So what we're going to do here is we're going to hopefully get a Boulder Helm. I'm not going to go and repeatedly try to, you know, respawn the level over and over until it happens. If it happens, it happens. It's nice. If Boulder Helms spawn in, they seem to have a pretty decent chance to drop for some reason. And we got yet another one with almost no healing. Okay, perfect. Yeah, Cleric guy, we can just go in one shot. Any of these guys got helmets? Yeah, you got a bronze, you got a brass. Or bronze, sorry. Yeah, no helmets. Oh well. Oh well. That's fine. It'll be how it'll be. So, first things first. Get strengthen up. Take out the archer. Hopefully before the healer gets here. Probably pop on and instill. One-shot the archer, then go for the cleric. After which we go for the wizard, after which we just mop up everybody else. As you can see, despite the fact that archers got severely nerfed in the mod, their consistency with their hits makes them dangerous all the same. It's kind of funny how that works. Actually, I've heard a few folks say that they're still pretty overpowered, and I'd be kind of inclined to agree in some cases, but I don't know. On the other hand, they kind of just feel just right now. Oh no, not a mute. Interesting thing, by the way. If you have any casting ability on you, they're more likely to use a mute, so Dragoons end up getting this especially. So sometimes you want to keep a casting ability even if you don't plan to use it, just because they'll try to silence you from using it. So if you have the slot to spare, it can be worth it. Alright. Can we just finish this guy? Yes. First splat. Because yeah, now we've got one of the scaling swords, as I like to call them. Technically called barbarian swords, but basically they're your side grade variants. Already covered that earlier, but you know, you gotta double cover everything for anyone that's new. But their basic thing is you drop 20 accuracy for each attack, but you're getting about 15% extra damage, or potential maximum damage. They've got better maximum damage than anything else in the game, but they're super inaccurate in almost all circumstances, so you gotta really set up for them. Nice sweet parry there. Can we take out this archer? Maybe. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. I'm very confident that we're going to be able to survive a round, so let's do that. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Alright. They're still going to get their whop, that's fine. The other two would need to both hit and crit. Not to be a threat right now, but we're fine. Because that guy's using basic whops, we know that he's not going to be spamming whop 2s. Alright, if you could go ahead and not, that'd be fantastic. Other guy, please miss. Or don't do anything. Excuse me, sir! No, that's bullcrap. Wow. That's... Okay. I will say that's the downside of a tank build. But man, like, that will happen, and it's frustrating when it does. Like, especially later on. It's not going to be as bad as in vanilla. I don't think I've gotten to that part of the video in vanilla. But, oh boy, does it get kind of annoying when it's like, oh man, great, I have this perfect, everything went just right. I just dodged like 6 attacks in a row, have a full thing, all the buffs managed to last this round, and then like a rogue in the background's like, but what if I shot you 3 times now? It's like, no, stop breaking time. I know it's technically a point system, and it's probably because I took a very long turn at some point to make the setup happen, but dang it, no! And then you're all dead. And then it's a bit of an unfortunate situation. Being dead's a problem, it turns out. Yeah, it turns out living is kind of helpful. Makes you do stuff, lets you do more stuff. This is a bad spawn. Because, yeah, all the casters are far away. They're probably going to have another caster on the right. Or... no, this is... yeah. Alright. Whatever, let's do this. Less likely to be dispelled, more likely to be unlived. But we just gotta get to that caster first. Gotta get to him real good. I'd be completely okay in this situation just getting 1 rank of either thing right now. So we'll see how it pans out. Probably the best thing that we can set up here is I'm going to go ahead and take out the caster. Then I'm going to go ahead and just leave everything... I'm going to leave the lizards alive, going to take out the archer, and then we're just going to basically get gang attacked by the lizards. I can leave their cleric alive. The downside of doing it this way as opposed to having an actual scaled weapon on you is, or rather having an actual elemental weapon on you, is that you're not getting the full potential of what you could be doing. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do with that at this point in the game anyway. This is the only way to get elemental training through swings. Because once you get to that point, you don't have to keep an instill running anymore. You just automatically get points for that element by using that element. It's part of the reason that I wanted to pick up the stuff that I wanted to, but it's not going to turn out to be as necessary as previously anticipated. Alright. So I know I want to go for that one, so... we're going to go ahead and pop on the instill. 1 swing should sort this guy out. If it doesn't, then we're dead. But 1 swing should do it. There we go. Goodbye, good sir. Stand facing the card so that hopefully they don't go for it. Probably taking... oh, no. Oh, yeah? What'd you do with them? What'd you do with them? Alright, hang on. 1 sec. Daughter did something. 1 sec. You know, I was having a conversation with my brother yesterday that it's kind of weird that they even bother with trying to mocap or even anything else professional people to do zombie stuff. Because honestly, if you just mocapped a toddler, you'd probably get a better result. It's just looking at the way that they do stuff, it makes you wonder if zombie movies were originally modeled after them. It's like, for example, just now, what made me think of it, I was going and I was finding something for my daughter there, and just my son just toddles around the corner, Just like runs up both his hands, just like body slams the door open and starts crawling over a table. It's like, yeah, total zombie situation going on here. Alright, this is not looking too great. Come on, stop double turning, man. You guys are just as heavy. If not heavier. What's going on here? No! What the crap? That guy was running a heavy set plus a shield and a claw. He is just as slow as I am. Frustrating. Okay, whatever. Let's do that again. Again, this is why this is the last fight I can take with the Dragoon right now. Because this will happen. But it is the best opportunity to get a few extra points out of it. We probably have enough to just make the Oz fight happen, but... you know. Gotta try. And then once we get past that point, we can just kind of switch over to either Warrior or Dragoon. Just basically use the scaled-up equipment we're going to get from Diebold on them. Anytime now. Because, yeah, it's basically just bowed. Then we can probably take the Chrysero fight if we really need it. I'm hoping there's just enough points to tick over to both 27 and 28. But I have nothing to guarantee that. And, yeah. Then we should be good to go. Alrighty, come on. Do. What you doing, kiddo? Now, one thing I have considered is I don't know if you can control Diebold in them. Because one thing I've thought about in the past is actually possibly cheesing it in such a way that... oh, okay, I guess technically I prevented this... I was already preventing this rule in the rules. But there was the potential for using one of the new items from the last patch, which was the Death March item. Which basically means that a unit will survive the fight, but at the end of the fight they will spawn as dead in your party. So it's basically just used for silver transfers. Which it's an item that a lot of people had asked for, but more or less what I was wondering about it was whether it would be possible to use it on a character, have them join your team, and then just kind of see what results, as it were. See if you'd be able to just immediately insta transfer them without actually, using them, so to speak, in the rules of this run. There's not really any reason to do that. It's just, it would have been an interesting idea to kind of cheese out. Okay, that's an unfortunate block. Okay, we gotta get rid of Claw Guy as the second priority. Right now, it's the Wizard that's the main one. Can I move? Yes. Alright, we're gonna take a quick heal. Just top off. Then we're gonna take one more hit, and then we should be able just to finish this guy. Because a swing with an augment, especially after he's already taken a little bit of damage, should be enough to finish him. Rank 2 augment plus rank 8 swords is usually enough to finish most grunts outright. Especially once we get better counters later. Alright. Come on, do the WOP 2. What you got there, kiddo? Paw Patrol? Well, we already watched that like 6 times. Can we maybe watch something different? Yeah, I think after the Oz fight, I'm gonna call it for the time being, because I gotta go do some stuff. Yeah, there we go. He's very dead. Smush. Alright. And then we'll go this way, see about dealing with those lizards. Maybe that caster, if it's possible. This is at least possible with only one caster on the field. With both of them, it would have been impossible to out-heal them. And... no jumping on that. Like, a lot of this run just comes to, can you out-heal whatever comes in one turn? If yes, then congratulations. It's technically possible. If not, then you need to be able to end the fight before you die. That's kind of just what it boils down to, especially with these double turns. God dang, dude. Chill with those double turns. Relax. Okay, okie dokie. I think my daughter's gone crazy. She's over there just sitting and giggling at nothing. What you doing? It's like if anyone remembers those old Cartoon Network commercials where it's just somebody laughing at nothing. It's like it's screwy, ain't it? Exactly that. What's going on over here? I think they're laughing at our dog. It's unclear. Whoa. Got hit so hard the game lagged. Come on, give me my turn. Please don't double turn me. Wonder if I can lightning snipe. Please block. Oh, hell. Now we gotta take one more round of this crap. Can you lightning snipe from here? Like, that'll shut him down. Gotta deal with one direct attack and one indirect. How will that put us in the turn order? It's like, at least if he's shut down, that gives us something to work with. Lizards are gonna get 2 rounds, more than likely. Which one are you? Claw? Alright. We're better off going into this position and healing. Because they're going to be forced to make a long move. Not great, but not the worst it could be. That wasn't great either, but oh well. Because we're saving about 80 damage by doing that. By getting rid of him, I mean. The caster's going to be too busy healing all these counters. We might get blocked here. Alright. Take one more tank round. We're going to take the full brunt of everything. But he shouldn't be able to use a tier 2. Alright, where were we here? I believe we were just dealing with these two. So you're almost gone, you're almost gone. Okay. Might as well just take regular swings. They take less time to do. There we go. And then we're going to move on this way so that I can one-shot the cleric. And a little low on health, but I believe this should be pretty well manageable. Yeah, he's not gonna have any finishers, though. Block and counter, as you do. And then as long as we step away here, we should be able to deal with this one. This is kind of one of those times when you start seeing that accuracy come into play. Like, in a normal run, you wouldn't have a unit this friggin' good. So right now, again, I'm getting... What is it? He's on rank 7, so that would be about 28 extra accuracy, so basically 8 accuracy above standard. It's completely nullifying the disadvantage from using this thing. So he's getting about 28 accuracy. On top of that, whenever using Sonic Blade, I believe he gets an extra 8, or another 4 accuracy from Augment Air, which will be up to, or rather 3 accuracy. Wait, yeah, 3 accuracy. That's what it is. Or is it 4 accuracy? It might be 4. Let's say 4, and then yeah. Maybe I'll have to correct that later. Oh wait, I forgot the instill turned off. There we go. I'm here to train that. Swing. Oh. Well, so much for training it. Accidentally deleted the training dummy. It's a weird problem to have. A little bit more training on that. Give it a nice happy finisher and call it good. So now, whatever occurred, whatever training we got, we should be able to go handle Oz. Squareos, all that. Neato. Technically speaking, one more fight is possible, but just not really terribly advised. I don't suppose we randomly got a Boulder Helm out of that? No. It would have been nice, but no. Alright. So now we become a Terra Knight again. Out of curiosity, how are we looking on those augments and stuff? Pretty dang close to rank 8, actually. In fact, it might even happen during the fight. Okay, you know what? I know what to do. At some point, I'm going to need to use... I need the Swordmaster at 4, or rather at 7 anyway. So that's what we're going to set up right now. Basically, it's going to be for setting up for Rampa later. Whoa, what's wrong? What's wrong? Your milk, but you have your milk. It's like, no, my milk, but it's already there. It's just sitting there. Okay. Get Art of War. He can't use it yet, but it's for later. 2 HKs for later, because I want to train him up for 2 HKs later. And, yeah, it should be all well and good there. Probably just put Poison Ward on there for now. Art of War for good measure. I believe you can't use anything until level 6 or so. Let's double check. Yeah, Lion Dance seems like it'd be amazingly useful. It's okay. Harvest Dance is probably the most useful one. Yeah, it's only a 9. Tremor Dance, I've literally never once used, but I was going to learn it anyway. Alright. Save our the Dragoon, take one more fight. Should be nice and easy. The kiddos just broke out, don't break the ice. That game's fun. The joy of toddlers is they just find something they can destroy. But we kind of lucked out because one of them's the super smart one and the other one's the utter meathead. So the smart one ends up putting the toy together. The other guy comes out and just demolishes it in 2 seconds. It's funny stuff, but alright. Actually, it feels like we should swap out what he looks like for the Swordmaster mode. Here. Let's see what we got here. Where do we have... I think Safari Ranger Denim's what we're going to go with. Do you want to retreat? You know what? I wonder... There we go. There he is. There he popped up. So now we know that it loads... Oh! Interesting! I think I know how he could have solved, I think I know how he could have solved one of the mechanical issues with the weird version of Donalto from a little while ago. Technically speaking, you could have just made him a guest in the fight, and that should have loaded his sprite up. Huh. Well, I mean, it's too late now, but oh well. Okay, so what we're going to do as we did before. Yeah, if you didn't know, there's also a Elrig costume that you can... Or not Elrig, but Azelston costume that you can give him. So for the Swordmaster, we're just going to use this. So he's got his whole floppy hat and everything. That's weird. Not really sure why the cleric decided to run away, or why they said. Hang on, what? Did I not equip it? Huh? You should be able to use it. Well, I'm quite confused right now. Because it's right there. And then if we go over here to status... I'm an idiot. I forgot to train them to him. That's what's going on. Alright. Are the dumb. I apologize for that. Alright, plumes it is. And hopefully we can deal with this healer before the casters get here. Which is going to be in about 2 rounds. Oh yeah? Alright. How well and good. They got 2 healers. I'm actually happy about that in this situation. Alright. We're going to go for this archer. That should distract their healing for the minute. We get a few little ticks on the bar here. Yeah, we're already past 100, so we should be able to finish off any one of these. Oh yeah, Mr. Man, what you got there? Got the instructions to empires down to the modern world. Alright. I mean, I'm pretty sure I don't need those by this point. I think we're a few 100 hours too many into that game to need that. Alright. Yeah, let's just go for the caster. He is the big boy threat. Wow. And then, yeah, once we pick up Grand Cross in just a second here, that's when dealing with mooks becomes a complete joke, which we only need a few more rounds to be able to pull that off. Because, yeah, Grand Cross is damage scaling in an immediate AoE. So you get almost the same damage as you get off of Sonic Blade, which is why it's effectively a replacement for it as the run goes on. But yeah, you can get ridiculous damage off that. Like, that's the one that legit you can do about 2,000 damage in a single attack, if all goes well. Because once you scale up your TP to 275, once you get a strengthen, then you end up scaring the crap out of the folks around. Plus you get breach on there. Excuse me, Mr. Man, can you stop leaning on that lamp? You are freaking me out. Thank you. But yeah, once you start getting all that stuff going, it's like it just becomes a little bit hilarious. So what I need right now is I need to back off. I'm gonna one-shot those guys in a sec, but I need to do a little bit of healing for now, and then we'll go from there. Once we can pick up Steel Stance, stuff changes a lot. You'd think preempt would be amazing for this. It surprisingly isn't. It surprisingly isn't. Hi! What's up, happy boy? Yeah, is that a fun bag? Apparently that bag is very fun. He's just goofing it up over here. Oh. Oh yeah? Is that the greatest? Who knew? A simple bag, the greatest toy ever made. You know, for all the late nights and horrific blowout diapers, it's this kind of stuff that makes it super worth it. Oh yeah, guys? Yeah? Come on, Perry, no. Guys, alright, let's chill. Simmer down a minute. It's not that exciting. It's just a bag. Shh. Hey. One moment. Alright, we've chilled out a little bit. Hopefully that's a block. Yep. Is that going to stun? I forgot to mention, by the way, Swordmaster rocks, the counter throw rocks, they can stun. So that's another little handy feature. We're very close to a finisher. I'll just go ahead and scale it up then. Just sit here and heal. We're actually very close to a lot of hallmarks that'll make this easier. Because, yeah, that's going to be up in just a few rounds. That's going up pretty quick. Parry's going up pretty quick. Yeah, once parry gets maxed out, stuff changes a lot. Priest is being a dick. Thank you, Parry. And how's Parry's stats looking at this point? Yeah, 2.5% per parry. So I only need to parry, what's it? 40-something times to get some rank up? Which doesn't seem like much, but you can get it up to 10%. Hey, no screaming. No screams. Alright, I think we've somewhat simmered down. Yeah, we might just end it before the Oz fight. We'll see. We'll see. We're getting a little bit riled up over here. I think it might be almost time for lunch. Alright. So this round, finally, that should be taken care of. There we go. There's rank 8. Good old Grand Cross there. But first off, we'll pow you with this. There we go. Now, we don't have Augment Holy on there, that's why it does 25% more. Once we get that going, it's a lot more usable and it's a lot more trainable. So we can get Aug up for it much, much quicker. Alright, Now, unfortunately, one thing I found out is that despite the fact that it's there for flavor reasons, nothing in the... or rather, none of the war dances actually count as using their particular element. So despite the fact that they say they do, they don't. It's kind of a bummer. Oh well. Oh well. Because yeah, I was hoping to just sit there and use Harvest Dance over and over to get Holy Aug up a while ago, and no. no such luck, because I guess it would be really abusable. To be fair. Whoa. And stuff that they complain about. Hold on. Yeah, I think we are going to be ending it pretty soon here. It's getting way too riled up over here. Alright, got a dex card out of the deal. That's not going to finish, though. Yeah, let's put out one of these, then. I was kind of meaning to ask earlier when there were more folks around, how many people had actually heard of the mod. Because it seems like a pretty regular thing that somebody comes up and they're like, oh man, this doesn't look like it's playing right. The archers aren't deleting everything that they look at. It's like, well, it's not the same. It kind of is, kind of isn't. Same mechanics. Like, I guess that's one of the things I really love about it. Is like the mechanics have not changed. It's just the items just the items and the classes that really changed. All right. So let's see what we got here. So he's got. Oh my goodness, this is some calculated as hell crap right here. Because I think it's exactly 480 to get Lament of the Dead. Oh, 460, but, you know, whatever. Close enough, close enough. Okay, get rid of Art of War, put Dark on there, get rid of Field Elk, put Lament of the Dead. Fantastic. So there we go. There's all of the nice nifty stuff I was looking for. That should give 8% extra damage, aka friggin' crushify the hell out of everything damage. We can go ahead and go for the light, relatively light setup. Let's go for the rings. And first of all, let's go ahead and save that. Second off, there's one more thing that we need to adjust because we need to go back to our other look here. Let's see. Let's turn off. I kind of want to. You know what? There we go. Let's go for that one. We're gonna go for the for sweet looking denim for this one. There we go. He's golden lands now. Oof, that was a pretty loud noise. Perfect. Yes, yes, yes. Sanity's looking very evil while streaking. Came like a... You know what this is? This is like a weird continuation of Knight of Lotus, where basically, you know what, Lance and Eleanor ended up having a kid, and then it wasn't actually Lance that came back. This was like Lance's kid there that somehow wound up half mermaid, so they just came back as Ariel there, but then they just turned themselves into a person. I don't know why. Come to think of it, they were like the only redhead in that entire thing, so. Whatever. I guess they only got the red hair. Whatever. It's fine. If you squint, it makes sense. Just ignore it. All right. Yeah. This time we're going back to the original plan. So we're gonna go this way. Gonna be popping some MPs out there. One thing I just noticed, by the way. Whoa, boy. Hang on. One sec. Okay, and back. Let's see. This might work. It's probably one tile short. Oh, there we go. It's not bad. Yeah, I'm hoping we can just wrap this up pretty quick here. Stuff's getting all chaotic like. Also, if you think about this whole scene, I don't know, all the death quotes in this game seem a little bit bizarre, because now I'm just imagining is just she's sitting there getting hit by all these things, just takes an axe to the head, slowly turns around like, hey, your dad's still alive. Bleh! Just, weird looking. Weird looking if you think about it. It's probably best not to think about it. Alright, so they don't... I don't believe they've got... I think the Knights might have heart and as far as counters to Lament of the Dead go. Like, if you get absolutely everybody in one of those, then it's very good. Alright, what do you got here? Alright, nobody's got Hearten. Fantastic. Yeah, that's 40 to use, so if we pop right over here, we can scare 3 of them. So 60% chance. But what I really want to see is if it affected him, and that is an unfortunate no. Alright. Let's go ahead and do this. So we're going to throw this out there. So that'll give them something to worry about. Next we're going to do this. Give these guys something to worry about. So now I can look away from them, since it basically drops stats, I think it's about 20% across the board. So we're just going to leave that as it is. Now, it says that it lowers their attack and defense, but it seems to just lower everything. Because they seem to be less accurate, they seem to be a lot slower. It just seems to be a very debilitating thing that only a few classes get access to. But anywho. Alright, they're going to go for those big AoEs. We might be able to get another Poison Mist in the middle there. Really, all we need is points. Like, what I wanted to do with that Lament there is just to cause them to get extra return damage. So if I step away, do a Drain Heart on Oz, right? I should have probably checked to see if Power Drain was available. I don't think it is until Chapter 4. That's probably going to be the most ideal thing for dealing with the Knight Commanders. Which I really hope it isn't, because then that means we're going to have to bring these, bring the friggin' TKs into endgame, and I'd really rather not do that. Whatever, we'll see how it all pans out. We'll see what shakes out of this whole run. I mean, we're still probably 100 parts away from the end, so this one's going to take maybe a year? I don't know. It's going to take a hot minute. There we go. Thank you, Lament of the Dead, for doing your job. And this is why I was saying that Grand Cross is awesome, because at this point I could just like go and wipe that whole area. But okay, we don't have a Drain Heart available. Will this be close enough to be able to pull off one of these? No. Can't shackle him. I can delay him, but that wouldn't do much good. I can squash this guy, but again, wouldn't really do much good. Can't use Poison Mist. If I maybe circle around the right side there, I'd be able to do a little bit of recovery, but it probably wouldn't be too worth it. Okay, why do you have this?
Juice. Juice.
Alright. Alright, we'll see if this is survivable. It might be. I'd say 10%-ish odds of this being survivable. If not, yeah, I forgot about the Dark Prison thing. I thought I had another round on it. I was paying attention to the kiddos. As you should. Right. Didn't parry, unfortunately. Parry, parry, parry. And blocked. I really should just get Stop Ward. I don't know why I'm not putting that on there. Seems like the obvious choice. Right, that's why I don't have Stop Ward, because it's expensive as hell. Okay, also, I'm gonna change his look again. Feels like I need something a little bit different from that. How about... Yeah, there we go. Let's make him look like Dart. I mean, kind of, anyway. It looks slightly red. What else can we get with Stop Ward? There's not really anything that's going to give us that, equipment-wise. So we're better off just trying to avoid it. I mean, this is very doable. That's the thing. It's really doable. Alright, do we have any other skills that could be useful here? No. Anything that we can learn that would be useful? Gravity Flux, right. Have Drain Mine, no Drain Power. Again, I think Drain Power comes in from Deneb's shop. I should double check. If this fails, if somebody could remind me to double check. Okay. Oh, you know what I just noticed? Giving knockback to Saria here wouldn't actually help. Because the spell that he uses there, yeah, it wouldn't actually work at all. Leaden prevents knockback, so yeah, it wouldn't work at all. That's a shame. I could have sworn I saw it work at some point, though. Random bit of curiosity here. Yeah, okay. He can use Gravity Flux. For some reason I recalled that in Vanilla there were some cases where he could spawn without Gravity Flux. Wait. Alright. So MP seems to do a little bit of a better job. So we'll go for that. Perfect. Alright, double perfect. Now, if I could just go ahead and get to the middle there, that'd be great. Or, you know, I haven't been taking the left route at all. I don't know why. That's actually because of the archers, isn't it? I would potentially leave the stairs exposed. Might give the archers a tough shot. You know what? Actually, yeah, I'm gonna take the left route. I'll take a few extra rounds for him to show up. Can put a few extra buffs in there during that time. Probably throw some poisons out there, give them something else to worry about. The melee guy, or the knights and stuff like that don't matter. The Terror Knights are a problem, but manageable. What we need is a dodge for sure. So pop dodge on. Need dodge and strengthen. Spellcraft can't be used with strengthen being on. Starting to wonder if I took the right route, if we maybe would have an easier time dealing with Oz's charge here. Because at this point, he needs to be left out in the open, and I need to be able to run up and hit him. Because he's charging up faster than I can actually get to him. Alright, so we've got all our dodges up. We've got an extra dodge buff. Got strength. I mean, this is about as good as odds get for avoiding it. Meteor Strike shouldn't really do anything. Even without the tank, he said it doesn't do very much. I swear, the things this child finds... absolutely bizarre. Okay. He's staggered. If we step forward, we should be able to finish. Yep. Right, perfect. If Oz decides to run down to the very edge, he's probably charged up at this point, but everybody else is too far away to take advantage of it, so he should be able... let's see if this works out, but he should go up and use his finisher, cause a stop, should be able to recover from the stop before anybody else can do anything. Like, the absolute best case scenario is if he decides to stop on the very edge with that stop active. Or actually right as the stop runs out. Yeah, this might be a best case scenario. Also, I have no clue how that archer got down here. Or what it's doing down here. What is he doing? Okay, they're just going to keep using Meteor Strike. If... does he have a want of landing on the edge there? Yes. He can get to the edge. If I move to the back, like the very back of the map there, he might decide to come down. Why the train? This is your train. I think brother wants to play with the train. Now, we're not actually going to show up in the turn order. Yeah, there we go. Stop fades. Hello there, Heaven's Fury. Been a while. What's up is currently trying to solo this. Alright, so if we... out of curiosity, how much does a Grand Cross do? So 240 that. Okay, so this is doing 306 right now. Once scaled up, we're seeing about 360 out of it. So what I need is possibly... can I hit him with a Drain Heart from anywhere? I think if I go here, I might be able to hit him with it. Let's check. Unfortunately, this is one of those things that the vanilla game really crapped down on, because if you could actually use trajectory with this kind of stuff, Yeah, no, it's probably not going to work. If you could use trajectory with that kind of stuff, it would have been a really cool mechanic, but for some reason, casters got the ability to use trajectory, but not to actually, it didn't actually do anything. Anyway, so there's the actual turn. I'm going to go ahead and move back here. So that should cause him to start coming down. So that'll give him something to worry about. The healers should stay up there. The tanks might start coming down. But yeah, so far this run's going pretty well. We got one little roadblock fight right here. It's not the end of the world. Like, despite the fact that this is, what, like attempt 7 or 8 on this one, this is really not as bad as it gets by any stretch of the imagination. Like, stuff gets crazy later. Like, to the point where everybody's throwing out friggin' insta-kill moves and whatever else all over the place. Not actual insta-kill moves, I guess you could say, but stuff that's like 70% damage or so. And you just gotta find a way to more or less get to the point where nothing can hit you. Which sounds like it'd be OP as hell, but no. It gets very, very, very technical later. So can we do anything to him right now? Okay, so 254. So yeah, it would be about 360 that we got to hit on him. If that last attack had hit, we'd be done right now. But there we go. We need that to land on both of them. He has a very annoying habit of dodging away from certain abilities. If I put him right here, he's gonna want to take a step forward, I believe. Okay. Didn't need that crit. That had a very decent chance of knocking him off the ledge. Oh, for... Okay, good. Good, good, good. No, he decided to run away. Okay. This is still okay. He is at a level now where if I just throw out Poison Mists on other units, they'll heal them instead. They've only got one good healer, and they're not going to bother healing that little plink damage off of Oz. But they will bother wasting several turns on other things. So all we need here is we need to survive 2 rounds. So I'm thinking Poison Mist on the... probably on that archer on the right. Move behind the wall so he can't use his swap. Then we throw out the Poison Mist. He goes for the meteor from the very front. Mr. Boy, how's it going over there? Okay, first off, let's double check something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's just out of range of being able to AoE him. Because it should be range 5 on this. Yeah, so range 5 for everything. So this is perfect. We go right here. We throw out this. If Strengthen wears off this round, it's going to be really annoying. See, that gives 59. That'll do 125. So they'll absolutely go to heal this guy. He's within range. He's weakened. He's poisoned. There's a bunch of work that needs to be done on him. So he's going to go for that. He should be the only one that can hit aside from the meteor showers. Annoying short bow bastard. Anyway. His brother's hat. Can you go put it on him? Oh, you want it? Because it'll make brother mad? Okay, here. Yeah, it's a hat. Yeah, it goes on your head. There, see? There we go. He walked forward for the meteor strike. As long as nobody with a rampart ends up running forward, this is a win now. Come on, give me my turn. That's annoying, but still survivable. As long as... Yeah, Oz doesn't have another turn. Okay. Come on. Survive. Survive! Right. Do nothing, do nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a checkmate. They healed him! No! You dicks! Oh, that's so frustrating. Okay, well... Alright. It was so close. Alright. New plan, new plan. This is... we still might be able to pull this off. Okay. Drain Heart. Alright. Give me that good stuff. Now what I need is very oddly specific. I need his WAP 2 here that he's gonna do to miss. Right? Being dickish and healing that up. What an a-hole. Okay. I'm a little bit salty, I'm not gonna lie. Though, to be fair... Okay, actually, not that salty at all. Need this to miss. It didn't. Yeah, so that's going to be check right there. Yeah. So, it's doable in that way, though. So we know that that's going to work. But what we need is more poisony stuff. Give one more run. If only this didn't have to be done with the Terror Knight. Just sitting in a corner eating healing seeds would be completely doable here, but that friggin' TK level up here. We're gonna make it happen though. It's gonna be worth it. Believe me when I say it's gonna be worth it. So, Alright, you know what? I just noticed I was completely misreading this earlier, and this makes more sense. Why would the Nomad gloves weigh more than the gaunts? Okay. We're going to go for this. So boost luck a little bit. This should help with some of those weird rolls, so we'll see if it ends up being worthwhile. Yada yada. Hit your own dudes as you do. So we're going to go the previous approach, where we just let everybody come towards us and spam Poison Mist and melee attacks. So in that case, we're still going to take that same approach going to the left, because that causes them to keep spamming Meteor Shower because of the awkward angle. But we're just going to sit by and let everybody come attack. It's got to nullify that height advantage that they got going on. In fact, best route might be to go down that way, so we're going to do that. What's that? You made a square?
Make a square.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Good job on the square. And yeah, this is going to be the last attempt for the day. So I gotta go get stuff done. Sorry to punch the mic there. You know, come to think of it, I don't really know if... As far as what I was saying about the Buccaneer earlier, like, I keep going back and forth on that one. It's just, the Gunblade is alright, but even in this case it would be doing maybe 200 damage. It's just, anything that the Gunblade can do, Thunder Beast can do just fine. So with the Dragon Slayer, it would be like a way heavier Gunblade, basically. But the one thing that the Buccaneer does have going for it, well, two things, actually. Insane evasion. One of the best, the best melee accuracy in the game. Some of the best evasion. And then, aside from that, you know, you're kind of limited to Gunblades with him. But, I mean, it could be worthwhile in some cases. Like, when it comes to extreme evasion, they would be the way to go. When it comes to needing a mix of evasion, resistance, and offense, Swordmaster is definitely the way to go. So, but specifically that they can use evade itself is very, very big. Because basically it just means that they can nullify a finisher. Which ends up becoming very necessary later on, though arguably using something like Drain Power would do the job just as well. So, it's also why I picked up two-handed katanas as one of the skills. We'll be training those later, it's just kind of difficult to route in. So we'll see how it all goes. There we go. 1v1 me, Oz! But he won't. Oh, you terrible, terrible person! Getting your double round. I just got double rounded and he blocked my way to where I need to go. Like, I need that little nook right there by the wall. Ah. Alright. Poison for everybody then. Or at least for him. At least that'll get that weaken out there. Got a decent enough chance to parry or block everything that these guys are throwing out. Still annoyed that they decided to double round last time and heal him off. It was so close. Yeah, clerics are very fast in the early game. They slow down later once they realize, oh wait, we can actually have armor. But yeah, in the early game, they're just like, whatever's available. Oh, look, robes. I guess these are neat. We're just going to wear these. So that makes them really fast. Normally, this makes them weaker in any other run, but, you know, solo run is solo run. It's going to have solo problems. Alright, so I guess backup plan's going to have to be... Yeah, backup plan just got deleted. Alright, what about a Grand Cross? Can we cross out of here? Oh, so very close. That'd be such a good move, too. It's technically possible that I can still roll to 207 here, because it can roll up to 211. And then that would leave that guy ruined. Their healer would keep going for him. Oz would go forward. Oz would probably get a double turn. Or we can just guarantee the breakout with this. So we'll just do that. Alright, we're going to take it a little bit slower this time. I'm just going to try to kite them around the map. Again, very limited recovery options. Basically use Drain Health and Mend Leaves. Alright, decent enough. Right, do I get a turn yet? Thank you. Alright, if I do a Drain Heart, he's still gonna get his finisher. I mean, nothing to do but just sit here and try to survive it now. Seemed like the left route was the best way to go. Okay, we're gonna go for this to try to reduce some of the incoming damage. I suppose, technically speaking, one other option that could be available. There is one specific map on which enemies can't heal, but Drain Heart can still work. The Boulder Blade would get a bunch of bonus damage off them. I don't have an Exorcism option for this guy, though. I'd need to double check, but yeah, nah, that wouldn't work, because yeah, I'd need an Exorcism option. Because if you go for the Swamp, basically it's a case where they can't heal, so if you get to the Boulder tier, you basically get a free fight there. But if we can find a way to do that, then I can use literally any other class that doesn't suck as much as the TK. It's not that it, like, that's the thing, it sucks for certain situations, and this is one of them. They have to cover a long distance, and they gotta deal with a lot of problems along the way. Okay, we can try Aqueduct. Alright, a couple things here. First of all, let's make sure that there aren't any news stories that we missed. No. Alright. And double check all this stuff. Probably won't make anything new show up. Alright, that's fine. It's fine as it is, because then after this, we've got two more fights that are available, but I don't know, because we have these two, basically. Or we have Chrysero, and then we have the Fort. That would be available if we just take it with another class. But if we just do this one fight, then we're basically good to go. Wait a minute. Alright. What kind of options do we have here? Because Tynemouth is... Oh, we're going to try Tynemouth. There's one specific spawn I have in mind. One specific spawn that only has one archer. And if we have nearly maxed out evasion, we might be able to deal with it. Because melee stuff we can almost ignore. My last testing run, I was able to do one round of this. Okay, we need to ideally have no fencers, which it looks like we already have one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that ain't gonna fly. Could try that one. There aren't any optional story fights for now. That one might spawn only casters, which might be a bit more workable. Let me double check that there isn't anything else I can actually craft right now. Because we can make the Brigandine, but that won't really help. Vagrant Sleeves could be, but we don't have the materials. Actually, wait a minute, yeah we do. Alright, we got options, actually. Alright, let's go to Herbalism, let's go to Tannin. For Tannin, we need herbs and water. I mean, I still need to call it after this, but... Okay. Alright, so go ahead and craft some Tannin, craft those gloves. That'll give us something. Alright, we need leather. There we go. Yeah, I would go for the Brigandine, but it's a little bit... kind of meh in my book. Like, I haven't really been seeing as much use for those. Like, if they came with an extra ability, maybe. Let's double check here. Warden, Trickster, Familiar, Patriarch, Juggernaut, Hoplite. Yeah, nothing that we're going to really be able to use here. Because, yeah, if we had gotten an Espadon drop at some point, which... story-wise, we won't get for until the very end of Chapter 3. And there's Linebreaker, but... eh. Is there anything else that we might be able to work out here? It's Field Alkaline. That removes Slow. That's not going to help. I mean, actually, it's actually not bad to keep on hand, so we'll make one for the future. We have Sleep. Not really going to help if we're the one that's asleep. Funnily enough, if you keep Soliodron around, if they're on a solo run, more often than not, you're just going to go heal yourself out of Charm if you're charmed. Spendthrift and Paranoia, yeah, that ain't going to happen. Petrify's not going to happen. Bind Check will stop. First Wither and Addle, yeah, I'm kind of regretting not getting Stop Ward now, because that's what I was saving points for, wasn't it? Okay, I don't think there's really much else that I want to put together here. So let's try that, because we can just try being a good tanky caster. Let's go to the store, make sure that there's nothing else that we can actually buy. Alright. Wave we have, poison we have, slow we have, reflux, ivy, yeah. So we have all of that. Alright. Alright, fine, screw it, one more try. I'm almost tempted to say it makes sense to go down to the regular Boulder Blade. Get that little bit of extra speed going. Because once you get to the Swordmaster, its main kind of strength later becomes just how fast they can become while getting really heavy damage. Although, despite the fact that they're kind of supposed to be a glass cannon, you can just turn them into a straight-up normal cannon. Alright, so we'll take left side. We'll take all the casts. And in fact, if we've got accuracy on those gloves... yeah, that should be something. Alright, gotta take a quick call, so just going on mute for a moment. Orky dorky, and back. So let's see how well this works out, because this should be basically a double stack of spellcraft there. So 83 on that guy, 91 on that one, 115 on that one. Yeah, this should throw some chaos in the works. And this looks like what I wanted. So I need to throw all of that top part into disarray. Need them to all just run around each other trying to heal all this crap. And I need Oz to decide that it's a great idea to come downstairs, so while they're all busy being distracted, he gets finished off. At some point I need to back up. Excuse me, child. What? You don't need to do that. No, you don't stick your finger in a fan. It's not on, granted, but still. Oh no, it's so sad. And don't you just hate when you want to stick your finger into a non-functional fan and somebody tells you no because it's weird that you're doing that? Yeah, everyday problems, you know? Alright. So, this actually worked out a little bit better than I had thought. Thank you, 25% a-hole. Alright. Are you gonna do 25% hit, right? Alright. Now then, out of curiosity, can I just ice both these guys? Yes. So they can just be out of the picture. He's gonna get his stuff eventually. But I can just do that. And they're not really doing very much here, so if I do this sort of thing, should throw both of them into disarray, so even if they're healed, they shouldn't be very threatening. Okay, there we are. And let's see what they decide to do out of this. Yeah, this mitigates all of the direct casters, because they want to stay up there and they want to stay safe. They want to protect their healers stay far away. And if I can get Oz locked away to the left, like if I can convince him to run left after I have a full bar, then use that opportunity to turn on Strengthen, then that should be able to finish him off, because they're too busy healing everything out here. They should be able to just run up and counter. They're not going to use finishers. That's going to be a whole problem for later. Thank you. I mean, we're basically maxed out evasion, so I didn't need to worry about accuracy as much from that fear there. Alright. The one thing that would have definitely helped with hammers is Tyrant's Mace at this point, because then if you end up getting your bar before a leader does, you can just shut down their attack before it even starts. Alright, they'll get Cleanse out. Fine. Now... Alright, good. Wasting most of their actions. Alright, I can Cuber through these guys. Okay, so I believe he's got Death Proof. Let me double check. He's got Deflect, Stun, Ward. So yeah, he's immune to Stun. Is he immune to Shackle? I think I've checked it for you. I believe he has innate immune to Shackle. Yeah, he does. Which is weird, because why? Why does he get immune to Shackle? Actually, the weirder part is he doesn't have stun immunity later. Yeah, I can just Grand Cross through it. So this is why Cuper is never going to get used again, by the way. This Grand Cross is just stronger. Train hard, I guess. It's about the best option we got. It's a relatively quick move. There's a small chance that he'll decide to go do something else. Currently these knights are drawing all their healing. They did it anyway. Doesn't matter, he's still got some, as long as he's got some damage on him. Parry, please. Oh, for crap's sake. Although, honestly, that's okay. That might still be survivable. Please miss. If this misses, this is a win. Wait a minute, he just did the bind. Weird. But I'll... Please miss. Oh, nah. Alright, you know what? That method is viable, though. I think what it needs to be is... Hauberk and gloves. So it needs to be run there. Alright. So let me go ahead and save that setup. Oh, that is already Hauberk and gloves. I was just gonna make that worse, right? Actually, if I had strengthened there... Strengthen instead of spellcraft. Oh man, I should have ended this 15 minutes ago, but dang it. This is how this run goes. It's just like you keep getting into those moments of it's so close, it's so close, it's so close. I know it doesn't seem close, but it's very close. I just need him to be like 360 or under. And then that's it. What's up, kiddo? You wanna watch TV with brother? Okay. Alright, I'm gonna put this on mute for the rest of this, unless something interesting comes up. Oh, no? Not doing that? Okay, we have apparently abandoned our plan that was made 5 seconds ago. Alright. Alright, so, dodge will help make up for the fact that we're wearing a hauberk. Won't make up for the speed, but that's fine. If we go left, that should give 1 extra round for Saria. Also take away 1 attack from Oz, giving 1 more round to not get hit by a finisher. If we do strengthen instead of spellcraft, we're gonna do a little bit better when it actually comes to finishing off the knights. We finish off 1 of them, they're not in the way. Should be able to get a few extra TPs out of that, which should allow for finishing off Oz if we can get a poison off early. As long as the poison hits somebody else at the same time, like if he lands next to one of the archers or something like that, they should prioritize that. Also, as long as there isn't a knight that takes a turn immediately after him. Man, there's a lot of parts of this plan that can go wrong. Awesome. That's the best kind of plan. Very good and a very great plan. Obviously, it can only go well. Man. YouTube's new studio thing is pretty annoying here. Like, don't you just love whenever you click a button on a screen and you want to click another one right next to it, but you can't? Because all of a sudden, like, the entire screen shifts over. It's like, this will be super interesting if we move everything. It'll look real nice when they click on the wrong button. Hello there, Alexander. Been a long time. Yeah, it certainly has been a long time. Haven't seen you in ages. But yeah, I was on hiatus for like 2 to 3 months, give or take. Then had some family over. It was a whole thing. But yeah, it's nice. Have my desk back now, and life is resuming some normalcy again, and might finally be getting back to normal work again. Except I'll be working nights, so I'm gonna be doing these tired as hell. But you know, that's exactly how it should be. Alright, good. They're throwing out all their different abilities here. If there was some way... See, if we had the Dragoon, we could just get up there and take care of that healer. This fight becomes a complete non-issue. But again, we gotta do this with a TK to make this a route work. So, it's not gonna be a speed run anytime soon, but it is what it is. So yeah, how much of this run have you seen, Mr. Alexander? Because it's been quite the everything. Alright, yeah, that'll be solid right there. Thought I would grind out everything in TO and then new Fire Emblem happens. That'll happen to you. That'll happen. Yeah, kind of been getting into so many other things. Hell, I've never even considered trying the newest one of those yet. Which, to be fair, I don't have a Switch, so I guess I couldn't anyway, but, you know. But yeah, how you liking it? Is it good stuff? Alright, good. Looking good there. To kind of explain the route that we're going for right here, there's basically a very specific thing that I want to, that I kind of want to trick the game with, which requires me getting the Terror Knight to a very specific level by a certain point in the game, namely 2 fights from now. So basically, I need to take this story fight because it's the best odds of having a Terror Knight actually succeed in anything. It's not that they're bad in this one, it's just that they're bad for the run. Anyway. What are the odds of a crit? I really want to roll for a crit there. Because if he crit, then that's basically a win, but... What a Poison Mist here would throw some nice chaos into the mix. So you knew you were up to this, but not knowing one mode stayed away. In case I eventually want to try it. Well, I mean, it's not like there's any spoilers here. This is, Actually, no, there's absolute spoilers, but it's not like you can get spoiled on much. Like, I'm literally just taking a massive deep dive into some of the crazier mechanics of the game. Like, right now, a lot of this is abusing so many systems that are, to be fair, Rakes did the best job that he could have. The solo run of the original game was a complete curb stomp, so this part, this is just something else entirely. Come on, parry, roll that 10%. That claw guy is just determined to make this fight annoying. Anyway, but yeah, so this is basically figuring out ways to mess with the AI. This is figuring out ways to do damage in ways that it shouldn't be done. Trying to find ways to avoid attacks in ways that they shouldn't work. Like, there's all kinds of stuff going on. Please parry this. This dickhole, man. Say no TO and not story-wise, but there's a part of discovering new tech for yourself and mods. Yeah. I mean, there's so many different things. Like, mechanically speaking, it is the same game. It's just little rebounds here and there. So yeah, now I have to retreat because this suddenly became inviable because of that douche over there. I can still one-shot any of these guys, but I can't one-shot Oz anymore. So, man, it would have been possible too. He's finally low on health. The Terror Knight is such a dick. Okay. I don't think I even have a way to get rid of fear. No, I can't. Alright, so, what we're gonna do... Well, we can't do that. Delete. I mean, maybe, but no, the bar is almost full here. What I need is to run back and heal, I guess. If I go here, it should delete most of their main things, but he's about to follow up with a finisher. Bot switch just for a wife isn't impressed. Aw. Well, that sucks. Hopefully they get impressed. Yeah, I was really happy over the last couple days, because my wife came back and she's like, "Here you go," hands me a copy of Outer Worlds. I'm like, yes! I've been wanting this for ages, but I could never justify buying it. She always makes fun of me for being a cheap bastard, so it was a nice, happy thing. Alright. Yeah, just so you know, I technically was saying that I would end the stream like half an hour ago. I keep finding one more thing and one more thing and one more thing and trying to just barely eke this out, which I have this all oh my god, it happened. He actually missed. He actually missed. And we got full bar. If fear rolled low and it wears out right now, then we've just won. But basically, getting through that was the big barrier. Excuse me, Mr. Man. What is the issue? 295. Okay, Here, what? Jeez, chill out. Okay. There's a small chance here. There's a small chance. What I need is to get out of his meteor strike range. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need to go over here. Ish. Yeah, that should be fine. Basically, I need him to want to move forward. But still need to be in a relatively open area. Actually, here should work just fine. Yeah, the others are gonna get healed. Yeah, okay. Even if he has to only move a step, I don't want to move him backwards is the thing. If I stay right here, actually, maybe my odds are better. Because then even if he moves, he only moves up there. But then if I face forward, yeah, then the knight should swing and then walk away. There's a chance that Oz will decide to run up and take a swing. Which would then allow for a counter, which would then allow for this to be a win. How old is the kid? A few months? The little guy running around here is about 1.5. My other one that's over in the other room playing right now is about 2. So yeah. Alright. And yeah, so like I was trying to say earlier, this basically this is all coming down to oh, come on, please let fear wear off right now. Please let it wear off right now. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a checkmate. Finally! Finally! There we go. Yeah. Get bent. Goodbye. There's the first roadblock of neutral. Like, this is why I had routed out neutral before. Why I just didn't even consider it, because this fight is just like massive pain up the butthole, but there you go. Okay, he went to 27. We are going to have to take the other fight. So we're going to have to go save Lenner. Right. Save, first of all. Yes. Very yes on the save. Alright, so we go down here, then we find out stuff's going on. Yes, yes, sadness happens, yada yada. There was plot. So, we'll go over here. Ah, we do have one extra fight here. Okay. Okay, in that case we don't need to take the Lenner. This should be Gamp. This should be Gamp 2 then. Alright. Lament of the Dead should sort this one out real good, because he's not immune to it. Well, let's just see what we're dealing with exactly. Wow, what was that damage? Pretty high is what that damage was. That's not even... That's without strengthen. Right, so we've got this Gamp fight is not too bad because he runs forward. Yeah, so rank 8, that's with a rank, still rank 1 AUG on air. So basically, the way that this whole setup is being optimized is that I'm going for like straight direct finisher damage in almost all the circumstances. Some cases going for more. Mr. Man, come back here with my mouse. Calm down. Yeah, he's gonna Lancy. This is why I was thinking to wait a little bit. Actually, we'll zoom out for this one. Alright. Alright. We'll put on Strengthen. So, just so you know, TK is not meant to be used for the rest of this run. I'm specifically looking to get the TK to 28 so that when Divold joins the party, he comes in with scaled equipment, meaning that I can pick up a lightning weapon early. Meaning that I can essentially scale up Thunder Beast, which technically doesn't scale damage on its own. It scales accuracy for the finisher, but it does allow for it to be used for better snipes later on. Also allows for easy training of Lightning Aug, so that when we go for the power grind later, we won't really have to worry about it. We're also super over-leveled for parts of the story at this point, but only parts of it. Alright, I'm going to keep retreating so that he wants a reason to go forward. Don't want to take out any of the birds here, that'll be a problem. I just need to get close to Gamp and see him get squished. Because everything else can get ruined. That told me I almost burned a house down when I was at that age, somehow sticking a model gun under a fire kettle. Oof! Now, we have everything very well secured around here for the kiddos. It's, yeah, stuff gets pretty intense. Alright. Alright, we'll do that. Then we'll start going towards Gamp. He'll probably want to take a whip at this range. Yes. Not sure why he didn't attack, but okay. As long as he doesn't double round here, he might try. Let's see, what's he going to get? He is going to double round, but that's fine. The AI is actually a lot smarter than it looks, and you really see that stick out in OV. because they will gladly take a turn where they take no action, just so they can attack and run away. So they're very effective at hitting runs, but anyway. Alright, stay up there, sir. And okay, there we go. He just basically handed me the win. So you thought the damage was funny before, give it just a sec here. Mr. Man, no, you don't need it. You don't need it. Don't petrify. Okay, good. Mr. Man, can you please wait a second? You don't need that mouse. Chill. He's like, yes, yes, I need it, though. Alright, there we go. 377. Yeah, that extra 5% from Airog is insane. And bear in mind, when I was routing this out, I had it at rank, what was it? I had it at rank, I believe, 4 by this point. Because what I'd done the last time is I had gone through Law Route, and then I had gotten the Dragoon up early, gotten a lot of extra training done with that, got Augs up to rank 4, and then had essentially put into a position where... actually, let's go... Oh my god, he dropped him! This doesn't happen! Okay, we just became... Okay. We just functionally became immune to casters. I completely missed that those got dropped. Micah! No. TP 225 lost a long go with one vision. It's not a one vision thing. That was a regular TO thing. Like anything mechanically that you're speaking is possible in vanilla too. It's just the balance that's better. Also, yeah, it looks like we still haven't gotten strength 38, so we need that by 4, hopefully. Anywho, let me step away for just a moment here. One sec. Alright, you know what? Well, we gotta wrap up anyway, and it seems my controller is freaked out. Decided... Huh. I don't even have a fast-forward button assigned anymore, so I'm not really sure why it's fast-forwarding. Anywho, so, while that's freaking out, we're gonna go ahead and call it for the moment. Let's see, we'll shoot there, got there quite early. I guess tend to avoid getting damaged too much. TP gains are mostly over time and from damage. Yeah. With this one, it's basically, like, the eventual goal is to get it up to 275, because TP Plus doesn't seem like much, but it scales, like, it feels like it scales twice as much past 200. So yeah, it basically scales up ridiculously to the point that you can do, like, 2,000-something damage in total later on. But anyway, so I gotta get going, so you guys have a good one. Thank you for stopping by. In a couple hours, we'll be doing that Legend of Mana thing. So, take care. See you then.